it's been neglection. So now I pick up the pen and use it as a weapon. Yeah, you can see that I'm affected. People getting killed for nothing but obsession. You need to look at your reflection and decide who you are. Stop acting disconnected. Got mothers killing kids. People could've lived. Well, I be on the mic, speaking how I live. Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead, and YouTube has to solve it because the law is killing kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end, and if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victims to the streets? They wonder why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. failed Kylie, and now Sammy is free. AWP did a good deed, and y'all be talking all that shit while they just do it for free. 16 days for 35 minutes. Y'all tried to throw them off and just want to play the victim. Reaching out to YouTube channels for clout. I wouldn't check it. TV if I went in your house. And SF investigate, stay sending out the hate. Why you mad at Doug and Nick for finding Kylie in the lake? Make it make sense. You're a fake bitch. You were there for money and now you're mad over fake shit. And that's something I can't relate with. Zero emotion from the mom or the statements. All I seen was the devil in her eyes. Tony died, you're a fake. I can see it through your lies. Got Sammy on your stream like the FBI. You've been grooming little kids. I can see your whole disguise. It get Mel calling Ronnie up on the line. Why you lie to the people and say you gon' do it live? Santa May out here looking extra sus. Got an arrow on the ground pointing towards Kylie's truck. Then you wanna come and up church. I think your butt hurt. You tried to blame the man for your dog but couldn't find the dirt.
Yo, hold up. Hey, what's good? What's going on? Welcome. If you're just entering the stream, what is going on? We are back. We are live. Yeah. What's going on, though? Shout out to everybody that just came in. Why do I feel like I'm lagging? What the hell? Good Friday to everybody, though. Welcome. What up, Randy? Randy in the building. Randy Fur, how you been, brother? Nice to see you. K, welcome. Jarvie, hold up. I don't even want to. I'm about to just kill your name saying it. I'm just going to say hello, hi. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. And yeah, let's discuss it. Let's open up some lines. Let's talk. Let's have a few conversations about it because I'm curious what you guys are thinking about this shit that they're dropping right now. Let's see. Oh, snap. We're going live. Bardis, what's good? High Priestess in the building. Who else we got in here? Wild and free. Happy Friday, everyone. What up, Ghost Devil? Shout out to Ghost Devil, man. Ghost Devil makes good graphics. If you need good graphics, make sure you get a hold of Ghost Devil. Go to his channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. He has made these beautiful graphics for me. Thank you, Ghost Devil, for being a great friend, a great mod, and somebody who, you know, it just has a big heart, man. Shout out to Ghost Devil. Everybody clap it up for Ghost Devil, man. Clap it up for Ghost Devil. But hold up, we need to jump into this because it's, I don't know what I think about it. But let's turn this on. There you go. Now, there we go. Hold up. We have to share that. What up, Callie? Callie in the building. I was about to call you Caitlin, but then I see the K-A-L. So I'm about to call you Kalin. How about that? Allegedly. LB, what's going on? Welcome. Deidre Baker, what's going on? Welcome. Lala. Hey, Lala, I've been seeing you out there. Lala. What's going on, Stephen A? Long time no see, brother. How you been, man? How you been? How's everybody been, by the way? She said, let's go. Allegedly, LB. Shout out to you. Ali Ash, dude, where you been? I just been chilling, bro. You know, sometimes you gotta relax, get your mental health together, and sometimes, you know, there's life off camera. You know what I mean? People, we're all human, just like you. Everybody, we all have day problems. We all have. I said day problems, and I mean daily problems. We all have problems in life, and we go through shit. Period. You know, there's gonna be times where I may not be on live for a week or two because it's better for my mental health to, you know, I don't want to be sitting here in front of you guys and not be 100% myself and just feel weird and not right in the head. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's good to take those breaks. Everybody deserves, take a break. If you're feeling mentally worn out, take a break. It is very important that you cater to your mental health if you do have issues. Like me, I have mental health issues, which is why I'm on disability, right? And when something is going on, like what was going on with me, you gotta, treat it and take a day at a time. But shout out to you. Thank you for coming by. And I appreciate everybody that was worried about me and asking. I'm perfectly fine. Shout out to Angela Darkness in the building. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. The Chicantique. Hey, gang, smash those likes. Appreciate you, girl. Blueberry Muffin 3030. Michelle Mouse, what's going on? My favorite Eagles fan. Alana Hillis says, happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you too. And I appreciate you coming by. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. If you don't want to be subscribed, that's cool. I'm cool with that also. I'm cool with you being here. It's great to just see people and hear people's opinions other than my own. Because opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. I like to hear from you guys. So hold on. Let me see. Let me put this one on. Where's it at? Boom. All right, because I'm going to open up the lines. I want to hear from people. I want to hear what people are thinking about these unsealed documents that were from Bryan's house, which was there was a Glock off the top. I'm just trying to remember. Glock knife. He had a Smith & Wesson knife. He had, I have the whole list saved in my phone. I got to look at it. I want to look at it again and read it out loud to you guys because it's just, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about it, period. I want to know what you guys think about it. In fact, I want you to call me and tell me what you think about it. So the full list of evidence taken from Bryan Kohberger's house: knife, book with underlining on page 118, whatever that means, an AT&T bill for Bryan Kohberger, a Glock 22 Gen S 40 caliber, serial number is BMXVS QI, a Smith & Wesson pocket knife, a folder containing vehicle paperwork, Acer laptop, green leafy substance in a green container. What could that be? Marijuana? I don't know. What are they talking about on that? Documents, green leafy substance in plastic bag, white paper with password, power cable, cell phone, 3 Glock 40 caliber magazines, all empty, books, black gloves, 1 black hat, 1 black mask, personal identifying documents, New Balance shoes, dark colored jacket, dark jackets, dark colored shirts, dark colored pants, clear plastic glove, laptop with damage, record of sale, Glock 22 Gen S 40 caliber, item photographed but not taken, which doesn't make sense to me, note and desk, criminal psychology book, documents, XL Columbia Navy fleece, a man's hand drawing, 10 curls inside glove box, or inside glove, inside box, various criminology books, license card, or books, notes, and license card, dark color hats, black gloves. So you have all that, a motherboard, Washington State University paperwork, note from Bryan from Montana, which what the fuck does he have a note from Montana for? Whatever the hell that means. Medical documents, court documents, note to dad from Bryan, colored spiral notebook, dark colored clothes, which it already mentioned that before, which is why I don't know it's in there twice. HP, all in one computer, dark clothes and laundry basket, Taylor cutlery knife with leather sheaths, 4 buckle swabs, 2 pair of dark colored boots, and 1 pair of brown boots. So I mean, there's some stuff in there, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really know what to take from that because I don't know what would be evidence and what would not because it didn't specify that. What up, Alicia? Welcome. My first live chat. Welcome. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you call in. Let me know what you think about this case because that's what I do this a lot on this channel is I open up my lines and people call in. So if you want to call in and tell me what you think, I'm going to give everybody 5 minutes. And I want to see what people are thinking today, like literally about this shit. Because I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of fuss about it, but I feel like in reality, we're not going to get to the cream of the crop until we at least June is going to be the the starting point to the process, which might be 2 years after that. So I feel they went overboard on so-called proof, like they're trying to prove that he did it. says Lala. So Lala thinks they're going overboard. Stephen A, love and light to all. Love and light to you, brother. Thank you, man. I hope you've been good. I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope you've been, your mental health as well. I hope your family's been doing well. Shout out to you, Stephen A, man. Sheba says, hey, good to see you. All of you, especially T. Thank you, Sheba. Shout out to, and good to see you too. Nikki Brink says, hey, everyone. Welcome, Nikki. Let's see. PJ says, good morning. So glad to see you live. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Let me move my camera around. I don't like the angle. You know, sometimes you got to get that right angle. Let's see. Carrie said, hey, T-REV, hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Waiting for snowstorm. So what I want to do is actually I had something pulled up, right? I'm going to take this, pause it, and go to here because I actually want to play this part also. Not that hat, though. Yeah, this hat. Dallas all day. Stanley says, nice to see you again, T-REV. I really missed the frequent lives. A lot of people have, man. I'm telling you, we go on runs on my channel. If you go look at my live history, you notice that I'll go on runs. And like I said, the last 2 weeks, it's been a mental thing. First, I had COVID, now, but I mean, I feel 100%. Like this is the 100% me right now. You haven't been seeing me at 100% the last couple lives that I've done. I promise you that. Let's see. WD, here we go. Yep, here we go. Kimberly Williams said, I had to take a break for a while, but I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's see. It's fine on our end. Okay. Lulu says, hello from Ireland. Welcome, Lulu. Thank you for coming by. Shout out to you from Ireland. Bet it's beautiful out there. You know, my girl wants to move to Ireland. She's like, come on, let's move to Ireland. I want to leave America. She really wants to move to Ireland. Let's see. Let me see who else we got in here. Jim22, shout out to you. Thank you for coming by. Who else we got in here? Michelle Fee says, hey, T-REV. Hey, nice to see you. Jim Puff, TGIF. Love you all. Love you all. I never catch you live. Yahoo. Well, you caught one today. Alicia. Hola. Hola, amigo. Randy Fur, I seen you. I think I already acknowledged you. What up, Scotty? What's going on? It didn't blow me away. I can tell you that, right? I don't think much will blow us away. I think we all are just searching for stuff to come out about Bryan Kohberger and things in this case, and we're eager to see justice take place. But it's just gonna, the court system is a process, and that's what it's gonna be. The justice system. So it's a long process. Rev Cynthia Hughes says, I need to say I was wrong about Quinn living on Linda Lane. It was Kenneth who looks a lot like Quinn. My bad. Sorry. No, you're okay. We all get stuff wrong. You know what I mean? At least you admit it. Some people don't even admit when they're wrong. Brandy says, long time no see. Yeah, long time no see, Brandy Duncan. Nice to see you, though. I do remember you very well. Carrie, Ghost Devil, awesome work. Yeah, Ghost Devil does some awesome work. Dippity Doo, what's going on? Welcome. Laughing Stock in the building. What's going on, Laughing Stock? Nice to hear from you, man. Nice to see you. Nice to see you in these YouTube streets. AT-REV. What up, Vardis? Nice to see you. I seen you last night at the members only live that we had. Brad, I'm on here for the third year off my break. I'm on the third year off my break Okay, I got you. Damn, that's a long ass break. Love it. Hey, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you, because a long break sometimes is needed. You know what I mean? Decompress, like Laughing Stock said. You got to decompress. You can't let the internet or whatever you got going on in your life chew you up and spit you out. You can't let it do that. Kid Kitty, I love the Cowboys cap. I'm a Cowboys fan. It is what it is. How exciting to be back. Prayers for all who need them. Much love to everyone. Thank you, Maldy Mama. Maldy Mama, I got your you tagged me on Twitter today, and I got it. I did get it. I looked at it, and I thought it was pretty interesting. In fact, I need to go to Twitter right now. Maldy Mama's been tagging me in some good documents here. So Bryan Kohberger appeared to argue for himself, which I've looked at that. I looked at what you sent me, Maldy Mama, which, like I said, it was a good document. And thank you for putting me onto that page, because that page has some great stuff. People have mentioned it, but I didn't take really notice to it till you sent it to me. So thank you for doing that, Mouthy Mama. Shout out to you, and I hope you've been well and your family's been well, and you know, great health. I hope you've been in great health, and it's all good. Rest is doing something positive. Good to see you. Thank you, Nana. I appreciate that. Woke up. Good to see you. Hi, everyone. Blue Mustang says exactly. I couldn't consume myself with this case. I got easily obsessed, and that was very exhausting. It is very exhausting when you get obsessed with this case. I'm obsessed with this case. You know, a lot of people were obsessed with that damn Murdaugh trial, and I'm like, I watched the Netflix series the other night, probably 4 nights ago, and I'm like, that dude's guilty, man. Allegedly. I'm like, that dude's about to get guilty. And then what happened yesterday? Guilty. And that was a 3-hour verdict. And honestly, in my Discord, I was like, it'll take them 2 to 3 hours to get that guy. Glad you're back. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gashun, gang, gang. Pammy says hi from St. Paul. Welcome. All right, so I'm about to play this video I just want to go through it myself, and then I'm going to open up the lines and let everybody call in, whoever wants to call in, if anybody even wants to call in. Or you can ask questions in chat all day, and we can chat. Hold up. I find it's a nothing burger, but still think his phone and electronics will make it or break it. Right. So like his searches or saving Madison's pictures in his phone or going to their social medias in general. The pings, the 12 pings that everybody talks about. He pinged 12 times near the location of the house. So, you know, he did it. No, what really solidifies everything for me is the DNA. Could DNA be explained? Yeah, he could have had that knife and sold it to somebody, right? He could have had that knife. And I'm just saying, realistically, thinking as a defense attorney, yeah, well, he sold that knife to somebody. I don't know who that somebody was. He sold it, I sold it here. But you would have to have proof that you sold it and where you and who you sold it to. Super Greek, not a damn link to the murders. KB is framed. Damn. I want to hear about that. Chris Doheny, how you doing, man? Probably catnip. Probably catnip. Maybe I said probably catnip. Agree, Cali Thunder or Basil. Hold up. Let's see. The Chicatique says it could be kratom, especially given his prior opioid addiction. And you're absolutely right about that. Kratom is a green substance. I've taken kratom before. Personally. I personally taken kratom. So I know what kratom is. And you're right about that. That's exactly what it could be. Star says agree. Okay, I seen that. Thank you, K-Me. I appreciate that. Glad to see you, and I love your hat. Go Cowboys. Thank you. Thank you. Carolina says this dude is done. Says he's done. What do you think about that? You think Bryan Kohberger's done, or you think there's a fight? This case won't make it past preliminary. How did they get DNA results from trash in PA to Idaho lab and get results all in one day? The PCA lied. I hope KB sues state of Idaho for $100 million.
Oh my God.
That's a hefty statement, but hey, I mean, can't jump to, I'm not going to jump and judge you on that opinion. Because personally, my opinion is not what everybody else's opinion is. I think personally it is Bryan, and that's allegedly, but I could be absolutely wrong. And that's why I love hearing from you all. Shell says a lot of black clothes, right? There ain't no doubt about that. There's definitely a lot of black clothes. I wonder what the letter to dad from Bryan said. That was what I was thinking about. Actually, that was actually one of the most things I was thinking about that I read out of there. I'm like, a letter to his dad. Was he telling his dad something in that letter? Is there something in that letter that they're going to use as evidence? Who knows? Carrie Cool. She says, hi, T-REV. Long time no see. Long time no see. What's going on? Welcome. Still not convinced he's guilty. And I see that a lot. And I want to hear from those people that think Bryan Kohberger's not guilty. I want to hear from them. I really do. Tracy Smith says, I wonder what letter. Oh, okay. I read that already. I don't know how that went back up there. Dragonfly says, T-REV, good morning. Oh, Grandma from Tweed. Hold up, California. Okay, Happy Village of Weed checking in. Trying to recharge my gas gang vape 1 gram at 61, not tech savvy. I see charge port bottom pin, every hole not fit on my Dell. Hopefully that works out for you. You got it. Brad says there has to be someone else involved in this case, perhaps with a DM connection. So do you really think that Dylan Mortensen was a co-conspire or helped Bryan in any way? You think that DM's connected? Angie says, thanks everyone for those in my shoes today. Please be careful. Angie, I don't know what you're going through, but I pray great health and great mental health through whatever you're going through. 10 curls. Yeah, I don't know what they mean by 10 curls. Can anybody who knows what 10 curls are, explain that to me in general? I'd love to know. Thank you, Valdez. I love you guys back. Rama says, I think we'll never know the motive. You might be right about that. We'll find out, though. You never know. Some people will surprise your ass in a snap of a finger. But let's check this video out, and then I'll open the lines up. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Come back only when you are ready, Trev. Thank you, Stanley. I appreciate that.
Search warrants in connection to the Idaho student murders. This one
The
from
other
Bryan
Aaron,
Kohberger's parents' Pennsylvania home, garage, and car. Investigators seized more than 60 items in all, including a gun, 3 empty magazine clips, and a pocket knife.
Before I finish that up, you said, how's Detective John doing? Last time I talked to Detective John, he had just got out the hospital. He had a stroke. So everybody put your prayers out there for Detective John. I don't know what he's going through now, but when I did talk to him last, he was going through he had a stroke, which I'm pretty sure it was a second stroke because he had a stroke beforehand. I've talked to Detective John off of live on the phone, and he has told me that he had a stroke before, but it had been a minute. Then I talked to him. He was like talking really slow and stuff, and I was like, man, what's up? He's like, man, I had a stroke. So everybody put your prayers out there for Detective John, because he did have a stroke, and hopefully he's okay. I tried to call him the other day. I didn't get no answer back to check on him. So I mean, if you see this, Detective John, just know I was trying to check on you when I gave you a call. Hopefully you're doing fine, brother.
2 knives, a Glock handgun with 3 empty magazines, along with a treasure trove of computers, hard drives, and handwritten notes. Just some of the dozens of items law enforcement hauled out of the Pennsylvania home where Bryan Kohberger was arrested late last year. A newly unsealed arrest warrant offering the clearest picture yet of what police were looking for in Kohberger's parents' house, what they found and what they didn't. The very first item listed, a knife, no manufacturer, description, or other details included.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I mean, and that's the thing that I wanted to know about is number 1, because when I looked at number 1 and I seen knife, I'm like, why isn't there no manufacturer or manufacturer or nothing like that? You know what I'm saying? Because that was actually pretty interesting. But yet they got a Smith and Wesson knife that's listed on there, right? But why isn't this knife mentioned? Or you know what I mean? Like the brand or anything. I thought that was interesting.
No indication if it could be the murder weapon that police are still believed to be searching for, a fixed blade knife, the sheath of which was left behind at the scene of the murders. A Smith & Wesson pocket knife taken from the house does not appear to match the description of the murder weapon. The warrant shows authorities were looking for any signs of blood, bodily fluids, or other DNA, like hair or fingerprints, but no such items were taken from the house. They were also searching for anything that may have belonged to any of the victims, as well as anything that may have indicated Kohberger was watching them or staking out their home. Police did seize 4 laptops, a cell phone, and several other electronic devices, along with dozens of articles of clothing. They also found, quote, a book with underlining on page 118, a green leafy substance in a plastic bag, black face masks, black gloves, and a black hat, which matches the description one of the surviving roommates gave to police, saying the attacker was, quote, clad in black clothing and a mask. Search crews also took, quote, a man's world drawing, a note from Bryan to Montana, and a note from Dad to Bryan. Investigators also tore apart the car Kohberger drove from Washington State to Pennsylvania with his father weeks after the murders, hauling away almost everything inside, including seats, headrests, even the gas and brake pedal. All right, let's bring in criminal defense attorney Richard Block. Richard, thank you for your time today. So we went through that list of items seized. The black clothing, the knives really stand out to me. Is there a high probability these items were directly involved that night?
What's up, Maria?
Well, we certainly couldn't say anything about probability right now. We don't know if those were the knife, if they were the clothing. And obviously, we have a long list of clothing that was seized here today. They're going to be looking and trying to match that. I'm sure all that stuff is sitting at a crime lab right now, and they're going over it with a fine tooth comb, trying to find blood, hair, anything else that might tie to that crime scene.
Absolutely. Well, some of these items, it's a little odd because the gun, full descriptions, manufacturer, serial number, but then there are other items. It just says.
See, with the gun, I'm thinking, like, did he use the gun when he went in? We'll never know that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, the only thing that Dylan said she saw was bushy eyebrows. So I don't think, besides in case they found DNA on the gun and maybe he pistol whipped any of the victims, which is, that's disturbing to think about. But in general, I'm just thinking, did he use the gun to control that point? Or, they just decided to fight back. Those are things that we're going to find out during trial. And like I said, I'm in it till trial. I need to see this trial.
Says knife or documents. And one that definitely stands out is what we had in that piece there, book with underlining on page 118. Richard, is there a reason some of these items would be described that way, almost to maybe withhold some of the specifics?
Well, that one certainly is an odd one. I couldn't tell you why they wrote book with underlining on page 118 and didn't give you the name of the book or a description of what type of book is, which they did in other places. They described what sounded like some textbooks and other things and notebooks and other places. Who knows on that one? It could certainly be to hide it, or it could be something as simple as the cover page was ripped off and it didn't have a title on the top of the book.
Very good point. How damaging could this evidence end up being to his defense?
Well, I think certainly they're looking for two things, obviously, here is motive, and they're looking for any other evidence that ties into the crime scene. Finding of blood on some of the clothing would be incredibly damaging.
Damn right it would.
And motive would help with what is largely so far a circumstantial case and tying all those facts together. If they found some sort of writing that indicated his desire to commit murders or something like that, that would certainly be potentially very damaging.
And what do you think? They took apart essentially the car, right? We know that they took the gas pedal, the brake pedal. Would there be some reason, though, to have kept the car intact?
Well, they're taking it apart because they're looking for anything that might be hidden inside of it. This is the kind of thing what we see often when cars are stopped for drug stops, that the whole car gets torn apart. Because in a car, most normal people don't realize that there are plenty of places to hide things inside a car where you wouldn't normally see them. So that's why they're tearing the car apart. They're looking through it for anything that might be in there or of course, they're also going to be looking for blood and other things that might be found in the carpet or underneath a latch or something like that in the car.
Absolutely. All right, Richard, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to
call me about it. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about what you think. You think he was framed? I want to hear about it. I think you called last time too, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think you called last time I was live, and I don't know why this is lagging, but I'm about to fix it right now. All right, there we go. But yeah, I think you called in last time. Anybody who wants to call in and talk about it, call in. Hold on, let me open it up. Matter of fact, I have to open the server first, don't I? I'm an idiot. Hold on, let me pop this open. Yeah, like that lawyer or whoever that dude was on there was saying, with the shit that they found, right? What they're going to be looking for is evidence on that. And if there is evidence on that, it just strengthens that case even more. That's just I open the lines, by the way. So if you want to call in, it's 219-885-9693. Make sure you call in. Let me know. I want to hear it. I'll put 5 minutes up for everybody. Everybody can, whoever wants to call in can talk. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can talk in chat. Let me pop that. There's a 5 minutes right there. All right, there we go. And let me turn it off. Do not disturb. We're good. All right. I seen somebody already tried to call. Nah, this is Kylie Rodney 5.0, says Caleb Lee. Damn, mom to 5 canes. Wow. Hard to fight, says KL. What up, Keister? I think it shows that KB had more connections to others than anyone thought. Interesting. I think it was either planned or a setup. June's gonna be lit. We won't know till June. Scotty says, I do lean towards BK, but still feel more was involved. Melissa, hello everyone. Welcome, Melissa. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. I think BK is guilty, proving it all. I can say, hope they have more evidence. Let me make sure I have my right mic on too. Okay, we're good. You never know. Let me see. I think he is involved, but I'm not yet 100% convinced he is the only one involved. T-REV, I used to nanny for the Dallas Cowboys kids at the stadium during games in the rowdy room. It was through a nanny agency, a fun gig watching from south of Fort Worth. That's awesome. Shit, I've never been to Texas. It could be potentially another person involved, says Public House Landlord. I'll close down some of these links too so I can put the phones right here. I need to actually get this graphic that I got and put the phone number on there too so people know. But it's 219-885-9693. What about Bethany? Like what could people possibly think about Bethany? As far as we know, she was downstairs sleeping, right? That's as far as we know personally. But that could be different. Who's to say she didn't hear anything and look out the window and possibly, seen something? We could know that at a later date, right? L. Holloway says, I think he was planning on suicide. The letter to his father, the gun that he bought, I think he was thinking he could maybe do death by cop, which is very logical, especially with somebody who took 4 lives, allegedly, right? The accused person. Of course, innocent till proven guilty in America. Justice for Idaho 4, definitely. Oh, we're live. Oh, we live. Yeah, we're live, Rich, buddy. We live. I think he's definitely involved, but there's more to it, says Jim. Andy Phillips says, I had no idea of the judge's son, Nancy. Really? I do think Dylan Mortensen is connected. All right, let me catch up because I am looking at 1144 comments right now. We need to catch up. Jessica Lynn, I see that. She says, hey, he definitely did not bring clothes to PA. I highly doubt. But then again, you never actually know. Yeah, you never actually know. Did he go to PA and was thinking, hey, I can dump this over here. They don't really know about me. They're not on to me. So I can go out here and get rid of this evidence or get rid of, was anything like that going on? We won't know until trial, I feel like, or at least maybe June. Some of that stuff may be leaked. I mean, look what's been leaked so far or dropped out to the public in general. Tore that car apart. Yeah, they ripped that car apart. What they were looking for. Anything, could have been follicles from, or, hair fibers or any type of thing. And definitely blood. They were definitely looking for blood. I guarantee they lit his whole entire car up with aluminol. That's a fact. You can bet your ass they did that. Ghost Devil says the knife surely couldn't be the same. You would think, or why would he think he's being exonerated? Right. He probably ditched the knife and clothes during his meandering route home after the killings. That could be true too. Showered? I don't know. It's like a lot of people were thinking that he showered too. Like he showered at the house. Amanda Meow, seems normal stuff in your car. Angelic Darkness says, can be Carrie. Okay, you're answering, Carrie. Let's see. Good morning, Sylvia. Welcome. Thank you for coming by. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you. Coffee Cake. He is going to be exonerated. Don't you remember what he said? I don't know if you're being sarcastic or you really believe that, which, a lot of people do believe that he will be exonerated. There's some people that I've had some conversations with that really think that. And I respect that opinion if you really feel that way. I wonder if he had a trophy bag with the knife and some clothes in it, which is very possible. Security coup, if he's guilty, throw the fucker to the wolves, but not convinced just yet. And I feel that. That's because I do not think security guards carry a gun. Security guards carry a gun. I have a feeling it's catcher in the rye, page 118. Susan, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Susan. Shout out to Susan. Thank you. Nice people here. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hold up. Let me see it here. Hold up. I'm getting a phone call right now. 1 second. Let's see. Jennifer Parson. Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for coming by. Jeff. Let's see what's going on, Jeff. I see you. So good to see you, T-REV. Looking good. Except for that Dallas hat. Damn. Man, that's fucked up, man. Damn, man. I'm getting dissed already. Shout out. It's nice to see you too, brother. Hopefully you've been well. I was wondering how you been, but then again, I was like, damn, I ain't really been live, so I ain't heard from Jeff in a minute. It's nice to see you, brother. I hope you've been doing well. Hope the family's well, and always appreciate you, brother. I know, same. Adam Hamilton. I was hooked to the Rev Gang. Listened every day. He streamed. Shit, we were live for 300. I counted it. It was 370 hours. We were 370 hours. Welcome back, Trev. Thank you. I appreciate you. I hit the like button already. Trev, 10 curls or maybe weights like dumbbells, right? I don't know, man. I want to hear from you guys, though. Let's hear from you guys. Call in. Did I really just have it on Do Not Disturb? 541-503. I'm just naming first 3 digits of numbers that called in recently. 206. I don't know. Let me refresh the page. Because I see it come through. I seen it come through just now, like after I clicked back in, but it didn't ring on my end. So I'm looking at that page. Weird. Sorry about that. I don't know. It should be fixed now, though. I just refreshed it and took it off Do Not Disturb, which I already did, but super happy I made a live. Lily White, thank you for coming by. We appreciate you. I wonder if the hair curls are trophies. It possibly could be. 541, what's going on? Sorry about that. I don't know how I didn't ring, but you are live. What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, Shaggy D here.
What's going on, my man? How you been?
How we doing, T-REV?
Same old, man. So where you at? What's your thoughts with all the, I wouldn't say all the, because it's not like a bunch of information dropped. You know what I mean?
I mean, that was just the stuff he was on his person when they rolled up into the joint and broke both the windows and took the door off the hinges.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was saying about a Smith & Wesson pocket knife. Was that the knife that they had?
A Smith & Wesson pocket. All right. So what confuses me about it, Shaggy, is that in here, because I got it in my notes. I have it right here in my notes. Let's go to my notes. I want to pull it back up and be specific with you and not tell you the wrong thing. So, so on the list it said knife at the top, right? But then and it doesn't specify who the maker of that the knife is on that one. But if you go down 5 spots, a Smith & Wesson pocket knife. You know what I mean? Like that's labeled. Why isn't the knife at the top labeled?
Yeah.
That's the part that gets me.
You're saying there was 2 knives that were taken off this person?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I just don't get that. Could 10 curls be? And the 10 curls, what was it? The 10 curls, you got the green leafy substance in a green container, which is either marijuana or like the Chicken Teak said earlier, was possibly kratom or something like that. But, we had a Smith & Wesson pocket knife, the Glock, white paper.
There was a gun taken?
Yes, there was,
Okay.
and empty
Wow,
clip.
that when you add gun to the equation, that explains a lot about him controlling the crime scene and the people at the crime scene. It's like, now I've heard that about the Delphi, that's how he controlled the girls, that he put handcuffs on them and had a gun, and then that's how they found the bullet that was at the crime scene. And
Right.
what you said is like, well, maybe he pistol whipped him or something. Maybe, well, definitely, if he had the gun there, that he could have. It wouldn't have mattered how many people would have been up in that house. They would have been doing what he said. Which, I mean, there wasn't much time for him to. He wasn't up in there very long.
Right.
Not very long.
Ain't no
Very
doubt.
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
It just raises more questions. That's all it does.
It does. It did. It raised a lot more questions, especially with that knife, because everybody's like, "Is that knife is it the knife that he had and he lost the sheath, and that's the knife that he kept it?" Or there's no telling. But I feel like, and this is where I would have a question, because they asked Chief James Fry, do they have the murder weapon, and he said no, but would he know
in comparison to knives? When you compare a Smith and Wesson knife to a K-bar, that's like, I don't. It's not the same, That for me, I mean, the last Smith and Wesson I owned, the blade broke on it. It was junk. Like, I don't know. It's two different blades. Two different manufacturer types there. Not that I'm saying that they're the same, but just weird.
It definitely is weird. It's definitely weird. And what else did there was another thing.
Then the other knife that they have,
that
they didn't say anything or about the manufacturing type.
Nature of the case. I was tagged on something, and I was looking at it from like court docs, or I forget what the name of the Twitter page is, but they're known to get a lot of really, reliable information that's true. And it said Kohberger appears now to argue on his own behalf that no such hearing is required. I don't know. I seen something about him arguing and standing for himself on his own behalf, but I really have to look at the document to see what
I think
means.
If they hold the court there in Idaho, they're in that Latah County, I feel that he will not get a fair trial. They're saying they want to bring the jurors in from a different county into that county.
Right.
Well, if they do that, are they going to house them? How's that going to work? Because they're coming from a different county and they got to stay there in that county. It's crazy.
I don't know. For me, I really think they might do a change of venue, but honestly,
and how they brought them in, they had the courthouse all set up. They had it set up before time. They definitely wanted to bring them to that courthouse, and they did.
Right up in there, yep. You ain't lying about
right
that.
Up in there.
Right up.
They had the cell underneath the courthouse already, and just that jail there in that city is not very big. 48-man jail cell.
It's small. He ain't got much to worry about in there.
It's not very big. It's
right.
Definitely a county jail and the staff there, they're working overtime.
Definitely. overtime like a
I-
mug.
I had this other case that I wanted to mention to you. I hate to get off task, but you said you wanted cases, and this is a good case.
What is it? What's the name of it?
It's a missing person case out of Oregon, and the town is Cottage Grove. It was the missing person is Michael Bryson, and it was a party that was held on August 5th, 2020 in Cottage Grove, in the hills of Cottage Grove. And it was held at Hobo Camp.
Right.
Is the place, Hobo Camp, and in Cottage Grove. And it was a rave party that he went to, and he went missing from the party, and a lot of things around. It's like the party
Right. Yeah.
for
I need more like send me like some reports on it and stuff like that.
okay, I got a telephone number. It's the Douglas County Sheriff, 541.
Hold on, let me write it down because I want to make sure it's right. You said his name is what? The case
Michael
the guy?
Bryson.
Michael Bryson.
Michael Bryson.
513
513 3413.
All right, so it's Michael Bryson. I'm gonna read it back to you just to make sure. Michael Bryson, 541-513-3413.
Yes, that's the sheriff.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely
Douglas
check
County
it out.
Sheriff. And the you could go on KMTR. KMTR and look up. Now he used to work for KMTR. He was he used to work for KMTR. His name's Rick Dancer. And if you look him up, he did a full interview of Mama Bryson, his mother, and oh, it just tears me apart. But you could find it all through KMTR and all the footage and everything.
I definitely want to check it out for sure. I mean, there's a lot of missing cases out here, man.
Yes, and it's going on 3 years now. It's almost going to a cold case.
I mean, when you got no more leads, if they don't have any more leads, this pretty much is a cold case after a year, you know?
Well, there's some players of the party that are, some of them are dead because you know, these kids were into partying and drugs. He himself was into partying and trying to get clean of all that, but
I know that
parties in the case. Some of them are dead. Some of them are in jail, but they know a lot. It's just like the party of Kylie Rodney. There was a party. There was a lot of people with phones, but nobody wanted to say anything. Nobody said much.
Send it to me. Send it to me ASAP. I'm gonna take this phone call that is calling in right now. I'm gonna take it because it's been over 5. But I appreciate you calling in, brother Shaggy. And call me. Send me that. Hit the email. God bless you, brother, and thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. 817. What's going on? You live?
Hi, it's Brittany.
How you doing, Brittany?
I had put a comment up about the Dallas Cowboys naming for them. Well, I had just called in to kind of run some thoughts about. I can't get it out of the back of my head that someone else might be involved.
Right.
So some thoughts about Enan Harsh, and Brent Kopaka. Is that how you say his name?
Kopeka. It's one of the. It's something like that. I mean, I've heard it said. I've heard it pronounced like 3 different ways.
So, just like one of them, thinking about Enan Harsh, maybe them having a connection with drugs, and even a couple of the times that. Couple of those 12 times that he drove over there, maybe getting drugs, or I don't know. I'm just wondering if they had a connection, and if the knife might have come from Enan Harsh, because he had has a knife obsession, and he is a chef. He apparently collects knives and everything. And then Brent Kopaka, I believe they were security guards together.
Right. And then they mentioned it. You talking about Brent Kopaka? I remember when Bryan was pulled over that that him and his dad were talking about it. I do remember them bringing it up to the cop during that, specific incident where he was pulled over.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I just feel like there's so many holes, that I can't wait, for us to be able to fill them all in during trial.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he could do it by himself, but I just wonder if someone else is involved, and wanted to see what everyone else's thoughts were on that.
On someone else being involved, or just Enan Harsh in general?
Just anyone else being involved,
right?
Whether it be Enan or Brent or Bryan. I'm sorry, not Brent.
Dylan.
Bryan Kohberger.
A lot of people, a lot of people are top 3 people that people think are involved, and that I've seen and read and seen through my comments and on other channels is Brent Kopeka, Enan Harsh, and Dylan Mortensen, which a lot of people seem to think that there is a connection there between one of them somewhere. A lot of people lean towards Enan. Then I see a lot of people leaning towards, well, Dylan didn't call the police. She must have let him in. She must have knew. And then you got, Enan Harsh, who lives across the street, who has visual of the, house all the time. So then you got, there's a lot of discussion on each one of those people in general. Which, I see around.
Where she was cleaning up the house. My thoughts go back to what, if y'all saw I don't know if I'm allowed to say other streamers.
Yeah, you can say whoever you want.
The Drunk Turkey show, a lady named Kim had called in.
Yeah, I heard about that for a minute, but then she fell off the face of the earth.
So I don't know if Dylan was actually cleaning up drugs that may have been in the house, calling people to come and get stuff. I don't know. That seems very feasible to me, that she could have been freaking out or waiting for something to wear off of her system, if she had something in her system. It's hard for me to say, that she's guilty before trial, but I know that they're gonna question her very harshly on the stand.
I think so too.
Yeah, she's gonna be run through the ringer. So we'll get answers. We may not get the answers we need, but hopefully we get the answers we need. hopefully all the answers we need will come out. So,
I think
but hopefully these
they
families
will.
get justice.
I think we will get the answers, but not how we think we're gonna get the answers, if you know what I'm saying. But I don't know. You never know how. I don't even know. Some people are even predicting that this won't even make it to trial. That he's gonna end up just taking a plea deal once he sees the hand folded towards him, or the hand held towards him, should I say?
I don't know. It's hard to judge like how weak and how strong he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he's trying to show everybody how, you know, that he's trying to be strong, but it's like almost like there's a little kid in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's because of everything we've read that allegedly he wrote about, you know, the visual snow and all of the emotional issues and everything. It's almost like there's a little kid in there that's acting out as an adult. So if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying for sure.
So yeah, he may crack. But yeah, these families need justice, and I hope they get it. They'll never get the justice they deserve, but we hope they get some for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I think justice is coming. I think they'll get justice. Yeah. I do. I really do. I think they'll get justice for sure. Now, I mean, do I think I there's no telling how it's going to play out. There's no telling how it's going to play out, but I mean, I don't even think, I don't know. The way this case was very, and it still is big, but the fact like with the trial, I don't know if they're going to air it publicly like they did the Murdaugh trial or, you know, anything like that. But
I didn't even want to watch the Murdaugh trial. I just want to watch the Idaho for every second of it. You know, I'm engulfed in it just because of, I don't know, there's just something different about it. I don't know. The Murdaugh trial was very slow and very, I couldn't follow it. It was just like, he's guilty. Like you could just tell he was slimy.
Right.
He was just a very manipulative person.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I need to see it play out. You know, there's a lot of holes that we need to see filled in.
There ain't no doubt about that. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Where are you calling in from?
Just south of Fort Worth, Texas.
I appreciate you calling in. Oh yeah, that's right. You said about the Cowboys at the beginning. I appreciate you calling in, and God bless you. Thank you for having a voice in the community, and I do appreciate you sharing your thoughts and opinions with us. We do. All of us appreciate it.
God bless you too, and everyone else that's listening, and I hope you and everyone else has a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, man. Block your doors.
All right.
God bless you. Thank you. Shout out to her, man. And call in 219-885-9693. It's that easy. 704 tried to enter the door. Where you at? I see you. I see you call. What? 704-479 479-360. I see you. Let's go. Plot twist. Re-entered. Huh? 704, you in the door. What's going on?
T-REV.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I'm right here. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Oh.
I can hear you twice.
I'm turning. I'm mute.
It's okay. I know you good.
I'm sorry. I never thought I'd get through. I was
Nah,
just trying to get you off the phone with some of those callers. They seem a little strange to me. But I missed you a lot, and I just want to say welcome back, and I'm hoping you're feeling better, and we're all keeping you in mind in Carolinas.
thank you. I appreciate that. I'm feeling great. He said the caller seemed what now?
Oh, see, now I see your mouth moving, but I can hear you talking on. No, now your mouth's moving. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I can't hear
I'm talking
myself on
directly to
air
you.
because. I'm sorry?
No, I said I'm talking directly to you.
Okay. Am I on air?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Live on the
Oh
air.
my God. Now I'm really embarrassed. I'm sorry.
No need.
Well, I hope you get over your COVID soon. And
Nah, it's
I
over.
guess
I'm done
you
with it.
heard about the Murdoch things down here.
I seen it. I didn't see the whole
And
trial. I just knew. I just watched the guilty verdict.
yeah, but when they closed yesterday, I guess only in South Carolina, they're like, when will you be ready? They're like, 9:30 a.m. Who does that? What state? But anyway, I know that's not what we're talking about. And I really appreciate you keeping up with everybody. And I know you keep everybody upbeat. And we've missed you so much. So what were you watching when you were laid up?
Oh, the murder tapes, a bunch of different things. See No Evil, Ghost Adventures. I was watching about, different reports on Kohberger, other cases that I'm checking out. I did a bunch of different things. I was live on my second channel, hanging out. A couple times, not like a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering what you were watching on Kohberger and what you were keeping up with.
I was just hearing a lot of things. Honestly, I mean, I hear all of it mostly in my Discord. Like I hear a lot about everything in there. But then, Twitter also. Twitter has everything too. So it's like, when something new comes out, I immediately see it on Twitter. So
Absolutely. Are you going up there in June?
what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point? Because in June, they're not really doing much. You know what I mean? It's just a preliminary.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
booked
true.
out. It's booked out already. It was booked out like months ago.
Yeah, and like 30 miles away or something like that. That's crazy.
I mean, after June is going to be either. I'm thinking if we're going to trial after June, we're looking at a good damn near. I'm going to max it out to 2 years.
I heard you say that. Was it last week? Did you just pull 2 years out, or did you hear that somewhere where that could be like where they're booked out to?
Well, not only that, just from past cases that I've looked at, just seeing the pattern within the justice system, and when it comes to murder trials like this, especially 2 years. I mean, you're looking at 2 years. Some of them been 3 years.
Yeah. I just didn't know because I kept looking like where is this 2 years coming into play, and I didn't know if
Experts are, a lot of experts have been saying it too. So it's just like, I look at that and I also look at the past, and I'm like, damn, that person sat in jail 3 years, or you either got bonded out. Some like AJ Armstrong, 3 years before he seen his first trial. So it's like, that's where that's why I'm like, yeah, we're looking at 2 years before we see a trial against Kohberger if he takes it all the way.
yeah. I don't know. What did you think about the evidence that they released from Pennsylvania?
To be honest with you, the thing that baffled me the most inside of that was the knife at the top. I'm like, is that what is that knife? Why are you showing a Smith and Wesson pocket knife and naming it, naming the brand, but not naming the brand on that top knife that you put there? Is there not a brand on it? What kind of knife was it? Just that knife at the top. So I was wondering, that honestly is what boggled me the most out of it.
Mhm. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because then there was that other one. I can't remember. It was like Taylor or something. Taylor. Now I'm gonna
Cutlery.
say some. Yeah, it was some sort of Taylor or something cutlery.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that other one just said knife.
Yeah, the top one is a knife. It said knife, then you go through, and then it's like, yeah, okay.
Thinking it was like, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No, you're fine. You're good.
I didn't know if the guy was just like starting the list thinking that would be the only knife.
Right.
And then went back like, oh no, they took it away and I couldn't find the name on it. I was like, why did he do that? And then they do all right in chicken scratch. And like they're doctors, can't read that.
Yeah, I had people in my there's people in my Discord writing it out. So because it's so chicken scratch. They're like writing it out in notes and shit, so it's actually legible.
Yeah.
But where you calling
you know what I heard yesterday, and I'm sure my time's up. I'm having trouble hearing.
You're good.
But I just heard yesterday, what's her name? Emily. She's the attorney. She's been following the Murdoch case.
Emily, I know exactly what you're talking about. Old lawyer.
I don't know how old she is. Well, now you think I am.
She used to be a lawyer or something like that, right? Emily Baker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. She's great. I just started following her with the Murdoch thing. But I'm from the Carolinas, so, that's pretty close to home for me. But they don't teach kids cursive in school anymore.
Nah, hell no. Shit, I don't cursive. You say cursive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't write cursive.
Well, I mean, they just don't even teach it anymore.
I can a little bit, but I don't like, that's not, I can't. I'm not that good at it.
Well, I mean, some people are, some people aren't.
Mm.
And my husband's looks like chicken scratch. My mom, I would take 100 people to figure out what she was writing, and she was a teacher, But so it just depends on the person. My father, his was like perfect, and he had nothing to do with teaching or whatever, but they don't even teach it anymore. Mm. The only reason that I guess they used to teach it was so people knew, or kids would learn how to sign checks.
Right.
But I can't even believe I was excusing myself for clearing my throat in here. I wasn't cutting you off. But I just can't believe they don't even teach it anymore. They just print and type.
Yep.
And I find myself printing most often. But I mean, I just can't even believe that. I just thought that was strange. And it was going from something from the other case. It was about that woman, Emily. But
well, yeah, no,
anyway,
they were streaming it in the Discord. They were streaming that Emily Baker in the Discord. I seen it. I seen.
Oh, that's it, Emily Baker.
Yeah, Emily D. Baker.
Yeah, she was saucing it up last night.
Yeah, no.
She wasn't expecting a verdict that soon.
Yeah, no, I listened to it when I went to the store. I went to the vape store. I went to pick up my prescription. I was listening to it riding around. I'm like, yeah, cool. But that Murdaugh trial was straight up NyQuil. So I mean,
I
in
know.
general, like honestly, it was NyQuil, but I did see the Netflix story on it. It was interesting. I really do think there was a lot of compelling things in there that it was like, damn. But I do
Yeah.
appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna give some other people some time. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where you calling from again?
My name's Michelle. I'm calling from North Carolina.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you calling in, and hopefully I hear
Well,
from you
thank you
again.
for taking my call. I have tried you for a couple months now, and then I gave up, and then you got sick, and I'm just glad you're feeling better.
Oh yeah, I feel great. I feel great.
Stay
100%.
strong, stay safe, and lock your windows
Yes, lock
and
your
your
doors.
doors.
God bless you, and thank you for having the voice of the community. We appreciate you. And shout out to her. Make sure you call in at 219-885-9693. I want to hear what you really think about this case. Give a shit about Alex Turtle. He's guilty. He's going to prison. Send his ass. That's where he is going, anyways. But 787 sent from heaven. You're on the line. What's going on? You're live.
What? I'm live?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, how are you, Trev? It's Mia.
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm good. So glad you're back and you're feeling better. Very happy about that.
Feeling great. 100%.
Awesome. So I wanted to talk about, you know how on the evidence that came out yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
it says 10 curls. People think it says 10 curls. I believe what it actually says is ID cards.
Oh, I heard somebody talking in the other room. So you said the ID card?
Yeah, I believe it's not like about curly hair. It's actually what he's saying or writing or whatever that you can't really understand it is ID cards, but in plural.
Okay.
So these are stuffed in the glove in the box. So that's really weird because why are you hiding ID cards in a glove in a box?
Right.
So whose ID cards are these? That's what I think is a bigger question here. And I'm not saying it's Xana's or Ethan's or Maddie. What if it's other people that he has done something to, or I don't know.
No, you have a point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
That's really weird.
Absolutely. That would be weird. And it, I mean, if it was, say it was what you just said, right? Say it was other people's. I mean, and they were dead or missing persons. There you go.
Right. Then that's a big boom.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's huge. That's huge.
No doubt about
that. And what else? And then about the knife, the number one, the knife, that's super, for me, I think that's like a big hint of them telling us we got the knife. Because it doesn't make any sense. Why the hell would you put that all the way up there, not describe what kind of knife it is, but they're ensuring that everybody knows we found a knife.
They definitely did.
They're like, in your face, we got the knife. That's how I see it. And then in addition, I think also they have a shitload of stuff in digital. So they have about, I believe it's 4 laptops, 1 motherboard, 1 laptop was like destroyed or damaged or something. So maybe, I don't know, I'm speculating again. Maybe he tried to break it or something, but why? I mean, you could have a whole bunch of old computers that you never threw out, I guess. They have to look into that. But it does sound weird as well, you know, that there's 4 computers that they took in to further analyze.
Right. And I wonder what those computers are holding on their hard drives.
Exactly.
I'm curious about that.
Me too. And that's not going to come out now. They're not going to tell us what they found in any of these things until trial. So we have to wait a long, long time for that. I mean, including what they found in his Washington apartment that included something similar or looking, you know, reddish brown, whatever. They're not going to tell us, oh, yeah, that was his blood or it was one of the victims' blood. That's going to come in trial.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no doubt. Yeah. And they're running all that through evidence or, you know, processing and forensics. They're fine combing all of that shit that they got.
Yeah. 100%. For sure.
And it's going to be interesting to see if there is any type of evidence that they get from it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Like I said, I tried to watch the Murdaugh trial and it put me to sleep. And I was just like,
the Murdaugh trial was very, very sleepy. The only part I found that could help actually this case is the digital stuff. The amount of information they could find in the phones.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Like how I didn't know the freaking phone knows how many steps I take when I walk the dog or any of that crap. It's crazy. So it's like nowadays they make phones to be able to catch people in crimes, basically. Like a lot of information came from the phone. From the phone, you know, that placed him there at the time of the crime, that placed him, you know, he took 30 steps here, he took 20 steps there. That was just like, wow, I didn't know, you know, a phone could do that. Obviously, he didn't know that either.
Yeah, it is.
But that was kind of all I wanted to tell you. I'm so glad you're feeling better. I'm so glad you're back. I'm going to give somebody else a chance to come speak. And you also keep your door locked and be safe. And I hope you continue feeling better, man.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you're back.
100%. Feel great. I feel back to where I was when I first had tapped into this case. I feel mentally. I mean, because like, you know, we were live, what, damn near Monday or what, Sunday through Sunday. Like,
yeah,
damn near
draining
the whole time until he was caught. And then I was like, man, that was a big relief. And then, you know, I had some things going on, but hey, we all had problems. But it's, you know, I took some time off for my mental health's sake and to get myself together. But then again, I came back and got sick. I ended up being really sick and just didn't feel good, stomach rumbling. And then I took, you know, I'm a hypochondriac, so I, you know, always test myself for COVID and shit. But then I was like, damn, man, being sick again, it sucks. Because I've caught it. I've caught it about 5 times since it hit. Since 2020, I've had it like 5 times.
Oh my God.
You know?
That's horrible.
But it, you know,
I haven't had it yet, so I don't know what it's like. But my son had it, and he was real sick for about 2 weeks.
Well, I'm glad that he was able to recover from it, and you know,
yeah.
The only thing that sucks for me is everything tastes like water right now.
Yeah. It takes away you can't taste anything or smell anything.
Where are you calling in from again?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico in the building. Shout out to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Shout out to Puerto Rico. How is it out there? Is it beautiful? I have never been there.
It's beautiful. The weather's great. It's, you know, in the 60s at night. It's probably like 75 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. It's comfortable weather. It's what I call it. But it's about in April, it's going to get real hot. It starts getting very hot in about April, and then it's really uncomfortably hot. But, you know, we got the beaches, so go swimming.
Wow. What's the degrees out right now? At where you're at?
It's like where I'm at, it's like 75.
Damn. Can we borrow that? I want to borrow that weather. You know?
You don't want to borrow it in the summer, though. The summer is way too hot. The sun is just too much as well.
Mm-hmm. Ain't no doubt. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. And I appreciate you rocking with me and calling in and having a voice in the community in general. Like I say to everybody, because that's what my channel's for, is to give a voice to everybody else.
Yeah.
On top of me
Thank you
having
for
my little
that.
videos and saying what I say, I like to come live and give everybody else a voice. So that's always a good part. I've been thinking
Yes.
of ideas of other streams too, like what I'm gonna go do this weekend is I'm actually gonna go buy a whiteboard, post some goals up of things that I want to do with the channel. And if you guys in the chat or anybody has any suggestions on things that they would like to see on the channel, let me know. I'm looking for suggestions on things that maybe true crime night. We have, sir. I just want to get. I kind of want to put a schedule on my channel with lives and goals and complete them. Everybody have goals, complete your goals, and don't let nobody stop you from doing that.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, you can break it down like on Mondays live, Tuesdays this, Wednesdays that.
Exactly. And that's the
And
reason
then
why I'm gonna do that, so I can stay more organized and keep going. That's what it's about. You
yeah,
got to keep
for
on, keep
sure.
on. You got to keep on keeping on.
You got to keep on keeping on, and you're awesome at this. This is your thing. You're meant to do this, so keep doing it. You're great. We love you, and keep your head up, man. We got your back 100%.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in. God bless you, and be safe out there in Puerto Rico. Lock your windows, your doors, your car, everything,
I always do.
and protect yourself too.
I will, man. Thank you. You too. Take care.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Shout out to her, man. Great call. If you want to call in 219-885-9693. I'd love to hear from you guys, man. 21767. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, man, I'm glad I got through to you.
Yes, sir.
It's John. I'm just to set it out there right at the beginning. I'm Marshall, Illinois, just right across the state line from Indiana, right by Terre Haute, if you're familiar with it. But anyway, that being said, I'm not going to keep a lot of your time. I just want your viewers' opinions. I caught something on a different channel. I won't air on your channel who it was, but I caught something on a channel. It gave me a lot of thought, and I want to see what your viewers, yourself, think about it. The allegations, and we'll call them just that, allegedly, right? I love your word. Where he was obsessed with BTK. There were 4 victims at 28 years old for BTK, and allegedly, again, Bryan Kohberger, 4 victims out of 6 potential victims at 28 years old. If that's even really so, it really caught me off guard when I added those puzzle pieces up. I was like, is he literally trying to mock that, imitate, whatever the right appropriate word would be? I've got to talk to you once before. Remember, I'm just a truck driver. I only really usually get to listen to you, but I actually took vacation this week and getting stuff done around the house over here. So I was glad to be able to catch you live. I normally just got to I still listen. If people hate it because I'm a truck driver, but I don't watch. I just put my tablet up, turn you on, and listen to all you and your viewers and your call-ins. But I wanted everybody else's opinion on that, what they thought, because that seems pretty crazy, doesn't it? I mean, maybe way out there. I don't know. It caught me off guard when it was both 28 years old for the first victims, both 4 people. Allegedly, he's seen and even talked to, I'm not going to mention their name again because they've went through enough, but the surviving individuals. And I thought, I wonder if that's it. I mean, if he's literally that focused on this, that he wanted to recreate that whole circumstance, it kind of blew my mind when I thought about it. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to call in while I got a chance. I'm sitting here, took a break from getting stuff done outside in this weather. You're close. You know what we're going through right today. So I thought, man, I'm just going to call in and see what I can get from you, your viewers, everybody else, what they think.
Right. Yeah. What do you guys think in the comments here? Let's see. I'm trying to see. So.
I mean, at the very least, you got to admit it's kind of strange, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of, maybe even just conspiracy theory. I don't know. Like I said, but the way it's all played out. And I just happened to watch that other channel right before I'd logged on to yours. I seen you went live. And they broke down quite a bit of information there. And I thought, yeah, that's really strange. That not the BTK thing I've seen on somebody else for, I don't know, about a week ago, but it did catch me off guard when I seen it. And I've not been able to keep up. I've been trying to keep busy while I've been on vacation. I didn't go anywhere. I just took the vacation so I could spend some time getting some stuff done out here on my property. But when I was listening to it, I was like, yeah, I guess I never even thought about that. That's kind of crazy that they're both the same age, first time, allegedly, again, right? But, you know, same age, same time, same amount of people. That threw me for a loop. I mean, but again, I'm not going to keep a lot of your time. I know you got a lot of people who want to talk. I love talking to you. I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're feeling well. I just wanted to call in and give my view on that and see what your viewers had to say about it, what they think, what you think. And I've got you not paused, but muted, so it didn't interfere with the call. But I'll drop out, let somebody else get in, and I'd like to hear everybody else's opinion on it.
Thank you, boss. I appreciate you calling, man. And you said you're a trucker, right? So you're always traveling, huh?
I am, yeah. Now I'm a home daily driver, so I only run about 500 miles a day. But yeah, I'm always driving, and so I don't get a chance. I usually take off at 2 a.m. So, you know, I run all night, and then, you know, as a matter of fact, if anybody hears me slurring, your viewers, I apologize. My drinking comes of the daytime before I take a nap.
That's okay, man. You're an adult, and you have your personal life, man. I'm glad you're safe on the road, and, you know, I don't know I don't know what you're doing, truck driving, or like as far as like what you haul or business or anything.
I run van loads. If you're even familiar with truck driving, I run van loads. 99%. My boss has about 10 trucks, and I started being home daily so I could be with my son. Because I've been truck driving for, good Lord, it's been about 30 years now. But my son, he got a hold of me crying last year. I just want my daddy. So I'm home. Now I found a home daily job where I can run about 500 miles a day and be home with him. I mean, he lives with his mother. He's got a great mother, but at least I could see him a lot more. But yeah, I most of the time I live by myself. When I catch your channel, I watch all these true crime channels. And I don't even know why. I mean, because it's a lot of sick things out there. And as far as locking the door, I'm going to be honest, if you're even familiar with Marshall, Illinois, I've never locked my door in my life. I had this mental theory that if somebody's going to come in, they're going to come in. They really are. Now, I'm not telling nobody, by no means, none of your viewers, by all means, lock your doors. Try to be as safe as you can. My thought was always, if they're going to come in, they're going to come in. And I don't even, nothing against, I believe in guns, people having guns, whatever. I just don't want one myself. I did think to myself after watching all this, actually the Brian Laundrie stuff, I was like, I don't even know what I would do if somebody broke out and have a baseball bat, you know. But so I'm definitely not telling your viewers to not have protection and protect themselves, lock their doors. But for me, I don't know. Like I said, I had somebody break a window to get in. They're going to get in one way or the other, I guess. So it's like, I don't know. I live in the country, and I just I've never locked my door in my life. But in fact, I don't even have a key to my door now that I'm thinking about it.
My God.
How sad is that?
That's crazy, man. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a small community. Like I said, I'm sure you probably aren't even familiar with it. It's so small a town, but I mean, it's always been a safe. There's things that happen everywhere, isn't there? But we'll look at Moscow. That's horrible, isn't it? I mean, you know. But okay. I see. It says dispatcher for truck drivers. I do. I mean, I love my job. I love what I do. I love your channel, though. I love all these true crime channels. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not even sure why. I tried to, a long time ago when I first started doing it, I tried to piece together and find some commonality, and there really isn't. I mean, unfortunately, there's just not, you know, as to why these people go the way they go. It doesn't seem to make any sense. But I did get addicted to watching them. And this one, you know, with the professor and the whole BTK thing, and then I seen that, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, that, you know, and I see one viewer posted where he didn't do it by himself. I don't know what I think about that. It is hard for me to believe that one person was able to do all this. I'll admit that. But as far as I know, anyway, unless you guys know more than I do, that I haven't been able to keep up, I haven't seen the evidence of anybody else or even another suspect. So I don't know what to say about that one. You know, I'm certainly not disputing it. Everything's open, right?
Right.
I mean, in fact, this guy might be innocent. I mean, you know, I'm not convicting anybody, but wow. I mean,
he is innocent until proven guilty by the court of law.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Right.
But you know, we don't know what else they have as evidence, right? We do know that
that's true,
his DNA was found at the scene, so that has to be explained, and it has to be explained in order for him to be exonerated. But like I said, we don't know what other evidence they had besides these little pieces that were getting piece by piece, and it seems like little by little's coming out. You got shit coming out in February, rumors, this and that, and now it's March, and then, he got little documents dropping, so it's like we see these little things, but we don't know if it's evidence that's going to be used in the trial. They're just dropping these things, a list of it, and it's leaving us all wondering even more.
And that's unfortunately the way these things go. Is a lot of rumors get started too. But my thing is, again, it's all alleged. I get that, but my thing is with him, I would like straight go. I mean, to say, hey, yes, there was 12 pings because I was doing this or I was doing that on the whole phone thing, But then his phone being turned off and turned back. I mean, if I'm that guy and I'm in that position, and somebody said that, I'm gonna be screaming from the mountaintops I'm innocent and explaining why my phone's pinged wherever it pinged, and I'm gonna have a whole lot better answer than what we're getting. So, but again, let me jump off here and let somebody else on because I didn't want to take up a lot of your time. I just want to get the viewers' words, their thoughts on that because it was pretty unique that it's both 28 years old, both 4 kills, And is that really a possibility that that's why he left surviving? Still victims, aren't they? But
I mean, I'm starting to speculate a little bit that maybe he used that, the gun that they found to, maybe hold him.
To hold him. Yeah, I thought that too. You're right. Yeah, I absolutely thought that. Like, that maybe that's how he was able to complete it by himself. Because even though he didn't use the gun as the murder weapon, right? But use it to hold him under control to complete the rest of what he wanted to do. I mean, again, that's all of us making our own conspiracy theories, right? But I mean, because we're left with speculation, aren't we? But yeah, no, I love your thoughts on it. I love your viewers' thoughts. You've got a lot of great viewers, a lot of great commenters. It's nice to hear all these other opinions. I think that's why I love your channel as much as I do.
And that's what makes what makes the channel, man, is the hearing you guys. Because a lot of
somebody's going to bring something to our attention that maybe we didn't think about. So
I've had that happen multiple times. I've had that happen so many damn times, man. I'm like, I've actually had viewers change my way of thinking about certain things during the time that they were searching for the perpetrator. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, damn, I jumped off the Jack train like maybe 5-6 days before Bryan got arrested. I was like, man, it's somebody we don't know. And then, Bryan got arrested.
Yeah, but we was all there though, wasn't we? Before we got the Bryan Kohberger situation. It does. It you can change from day to day. You can change thought process and patterns. I didn't like the guy in the hoodie at the food truck. But apparently that was nothing to do with it, right? So
absolutely.
And it is scary that we can jump to conclusions and make people, even convicting people like him if he's innocent. I'd like to hear something from him that even leans toward innocence, to be honest. But but the point is, like the girl, again, I'm not going to mention her name because she's already been victimized enough for an innocent bystander. But the internet is what it is, right? You're going to catch the good and the bad and the burn of it, aren't you? With everybody's opinions. But I still love hearing them.
Well, thank you for calling in, my brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. No, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for just keeping up on it all. Like I said, I'm sorry I don't get to watch all the time, but like this, it's nice to be able to catch it.
Hey, yeah, it's nice. It's cool, man. I appreciate you coming by whenever you can, and be safe out there on the road, brother. I'm gonna pray for your safety, and I hope you
appreciate that.
Stay safe out there on the road, my man. Because I know you said 500 miles, man. 500 miles is, some people may look at that as, oh, that ain't shit, but 500 miles is damn near 12 hours.
That's my 14-hour. It's a 14-hour day for me.
Exactly.
I can only drive 11, but I work a 14-hour day and then shut down. And yeah, I've been fortunate enough out of all my years. I've never even had so much as a seatbelt ticket. But yeah, I see a lot of bad out there. And unfortunately, I think I'd put too many young, uneducated, untrained individuals in trucks, but that's just a whole nother topic. So we won't go into all that.
Right.
But yeah, love your viewers. Hope they can all hear me. tell them I love them, and I want to hear what their opinions are, and I'll let you get somebody else on the line. Maybe they've got a new opinion to that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. God bless you and stay safe, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. God bless you too.
Thank you. Shout out to him, man. If you want to call in, 219-885-9693, you know the deal. Ain't a damn thing changed. I see. Hold up. Let's see. Okay, I see you there. 479. What's going on? You live?
Hey, T-REV, how you feeling, buddy?
You know the deal, man. 100%. What's it look like? Different energy, right?
Yep. Hey, I like your whiteboard idea.
Yeah.
You can kind of like this is my weekly schedule. This is what I'm going to do for the week, and then I'll be like, well, I can't be there for that, but dude, I have got to be there for that because he's going to talk about this and that. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's just something that I, if when I put stuff up on a whiteboard and I write down my goals and I just, go by each one and complete what I want to complete. And if I don't complete that, then I'm not doing something right. And that's how I'm going to look at it. And that's going to be my mindset with it is, I'm not going to pressure myself and overwhelm it. I'm good. I'm going to start off with 5 and complete them and then erase them and put another 5.
There you go. Got to have goals, man.
Absolutely. So I mean, where's your mind at right now with what do you think about it? You think this is a nothing burger, the shit that they drop? The thing that gets to me, and I've had plenty of conversations with you, but the thing that gets to me is number 1 on their knife. It doesn't have a manufacturer at all. It's what do you think about that?
I mean, it's a knife. I've got 4 or 5 in the drawer. A couple of steak knives, a couple of butcher knives. You have knives. Everybody's got knives. They found that knife at his parents' house, just happened to be in his room. So, but I don't know, it just depends on who found it. If he wanted, maybe they didn't know, maybe it didn't have a brand or a maker's mark. Who knows? That's where I'm at with it. It'll come out later. It could be absolutely nothing other than the fact that, it's just a knife.
It's just a knife that don't have a brand on it.
Yeah. Cheap knife, Kmart knife, Walmart knife, whatever. Stainless steel, that's all it says on it, stainless steel. Anyway, but real quick, the jury wasted no time saying, bullshit on Murdoch.
Yeah, no, I knew I actually predicted that. Last week. I'm like, dude, they're gonna find him guilty in like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it was 2 to 3 hours.
Yep. Hey, and I'll flash back to, you know what, dude, it saddened me the other day when I was watching, I think it was News Nation, where they reported that the house was going to be boarded up and they showed pictures of it and stuff. And dude, that really did sadden me because, you look at what happened in that house and you think before those kids, there were other kids there partying, going to college, having a good time. There were a lot of good times in that house. And Bryan fucking douchebag Berger just had to fuck everything up, man. It's just a shame to see that house is going to be destroyed. Well, it's a shame that it happened. But anyway,
from what I heard, it was the landlord sold it to the university, and they're going to have it demolished. If I'm wrong, correct me in comments. You can correct me also. But that's from what I've read, that's what I've seen.
Yeah. It's just sad to see that. I don't know. It's just hard looking at that house. So maybe it's a good thing they're tearing it down. But I got a thought here, again, listening to your show, all your Rev gang, man, your callers that call in, I swear everybody there is smarter than me. But how fucked up would that be, seriously, if all those 12 pings was BK going over to Enan's house to pick up drugs? Enan just happened to say, hey man, check out this K-bar. And dude held, and BK held the K-bar, and then Enan went in there and did all that, unlived those 4 students.
Oh my God!
How fucked up would that be? Because we've been wrong before, T-REV. We've been wrong before.
We were wrong about the Jacks. We were wrong about the Jacks. We were wrong about the Brokeback Theory. We were wrong about a lot of different things.
That would just be fucked up.
But it's hysteria, man. It's hysteria. We're all gonna speculate. We're all gonna, there was 4, kids, or they're not kids, they're adults, 2 21-year-olds, 2 20-year-olds. that were brutally stabbed to death. I mean, people who are into true crime are going to get to speculating and talk about these things. They're going to talk about it. They're going to look at who would have motive. You know, people are going to dig into it. There's a lot of people out there that are just true sleuths and you know, want to find justice for people, and there's going to be speculation. You know, sometimes you know, some people are beating themselves up for, you know, tearing Jack's name up, and I get it, but at the same time, it's hysteria, and you know, his truth is free now, and he doesn't have to worry about anything. And I follow his Instagram with Murphy. Actually, if anybody doesn't know, man, it's a great Instagram. Go over there, follow it. He posts things with Murphy all the time, and it's, you know, it's a beautiful thing that he did.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's a good-hearted person, man. I mean, it's still destroyed. You know, you just don't wake up one morning and the pain be gone. Sadly, you know, I'm sure he's still destroyed and getting things put together. But anyway, man, I'm glad you're back. Good seeing you in good health, man.
Good health, good spirits, good vibes. That's what it's about, man.
All right, my brother. You keep it real, dude. I'm gonna let you go, okay?
I appreciate you, brother. God bless you. I always hear from you. Thank you for calling in, man. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate you calling in, sharing your opinion, sharing your thoughts, even if we're just bullshitting. You know, it's good to hear from you and hear that you're doing good. Well, hopefully you're doing good. You know, hopefully you've been doing.
Yeah, I'm every day above ground is a good day, man.
Exactly. That's the spirit, my brother. God bless you. Lock your doors. You know the deal. You know the drill. I'll hear from you again, buddy. Man. I always hear from you, and it's wonderful to hear from you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Love you.
God bless you. Love you too, brother. Later. Shout out to him, man. Good caller. Always good to hear from him. 219-885-9693. I want to hear from you. What's up? Make sure you call in. Enan is sus for sure, Jim22 says. He said that would be fucked up, but makes sense. Very sus. But, you know, I remember the first time I watched the video on Hidden True Crime, man. When I seen that interview, I was like, what? 646 is in the mix. You're live. You're on the air. What is going on? How you doing?
T-REV.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, it's Hollis. What's going on?
Hollis in the building. What's going on, Hollis? Glad to hear from you.
Okay, I had to mute my TV. Okay, so here's what's getting me so confused, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is when he got arrested at his parents' house, how come he asked if anybody else was arrested? To me, that's such a confusing statement for him to say at that kind of a time. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I still think about that shit too.
Like, to me, it's just weird to say that. I would just be in more shock or whatever. Like, it's making it twisted weirdly to where, like, there could possibly be some other weirdos involved. Like, people who maybe filled out his form were, you know, allegedly, you know, it could, what if it was Enan that filled out a form? What if Bryan Kohberger filled out one of his little, that paperwork he had to do for his master's or whatever he was going for? And what if he got together with them and they all just hung out and, like, what? I just don't know. It's just weird that he asked that question to me.
It is weird. And I know that was reported I seen it where I first seen it was Brian Enton on Twitter. He said that, you know, sources say that Bryan Kohberger asked, which Brian Enton, I feel like Brian Enton is on it, you know? And I do
too.
Like he's on. I don't think he would report some bullshit. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right. He's a credible reporter. He can't just say something that's not true.
Yeah.
So
that's how I feel.
So it's good to know that he said that, you know, that's what he said, because I kind of believe that would be true. It just, Brian made so many mistakes along the way during his crime that it just makes it weird to think that, and he is an intelligent guy, but I don't think he had some common sense. So I'm wondering if, like, it's so masterminded that nobody can even wrap their head around it. Were they all doing this so that they could all complete the questionnaire in full?
Yeah. Were they? That's a good
I
question.
don't know.
That's a damn good question.
I mean, they all have their own weirdness about them.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, Kopeka had PTSD from serving overseas, right?
Right.
So, I mean, he's got that killer instinct in him, probably. I don't know. I'm not allegedly, please, people. And, you know, Bryan was definitely off his rocker. And then you've got Enan, who's a little weird, but I don't know. He's the drug connection in it all.
Yeah, he was found selling drugs and shit on his record prior.
Yeah, he's always going to be a druggie, and he's always going to be dealing and wheeling and dealing. You know what I mean? And then the whole thing about him like having that apartment in Pullman. Enan still on a lease in Pullman. That's weird.
That is weird. That's weird
And
as shit.
and then he moves into that apartment, and his excuse is because, quote, the ceilings are higher, so he can do his juggling, which is probably true because we see that he does that. But it also gives him a peeping point of view.
Right.
It's just odd. I'm just saying. I don't know. I keep going like Bryan did it alone. He would never have anybody else help him. He's too much of a narcissist to all these other little weird circumstantial evidences. I mean, not evidence, but little pieces of the pie that fit into this. Could there be other people involved?
That's probably the biggest question surrounding this case, just from based off of, you know, and I see the number one controversy out there is, why did it take 8 hours to call the police?
Yeah, I know. That's another. Yeah, that's a weird one.
That's the biggest one.
So when it comes to trial, then the defense, I wonder how scrambly they're going to try to make the jury. You know, I wonder how many theories they're going to pull out of their asses to just confuse everybody, which is kind of scary if you think about it.
Shit, they can turn on YouTube and find plenty of defenses. You know what I mean?
I know.
There's a lot.
But I don't know. You know, the FBI, they could have everything, you know, all wrapped up in a tiny little bow, and it's just Bryan, and he was the only one. You know, it could just be that. I just hate that we have to wait so long. We have to wait for the trial to find out all these answers. We're just dying to find out.
Exactly. Especially, I feel like the number one is it, and I said it earlier, is Dylan. That's the number one question that I see constantly.
Is Dylan's reaction to it all?
Yeah, and I see it everywhere. It's constantly everywhere. You can't, no matter how many people, or you know, no matter how many people keep going around and saying it, it honestly just keeps coming up.
Yeah, you know, I know that at that age, she's 19, if I thought something was sus, if I'm in a home with like all these roommates and no one's answering their phones, and I come out and look, and maybe I see a bloody situation, and I had seen a masked man the night before, I would have certainly been able at 19 to add 1 and 1 is 2 and call 911.
Yeah, no doubt. Hell yeah.
You
if
know?
I see a masked man walking out my house, bushy eyebrows.
Yeah, it's just weird. And even in the morning when she woke up and saw what she saw, she could have called a friend, but then you call 911. Let's get for real. You don't let this just kind of, I just felt like I don't know, were these people just walking through like it was a carnival show? I mean, how disrespectful to even whatever time she did wake up not to call 911. To let all these people just kind of walk around and be, you know, whatever. I don't know. That's me. I know I would have been in shock, but I know my adrenaline would have forced me to call 911 no matter what.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so I just don't. The whole thing is so weird.
People are saying shock phase, or not people. The PCA said shock phase, right?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people who've experienced stuff like that do honestly say that there is shock phase.
But my thing is I feel like they didn't specify in the PCA whether they say shock phase and all that, but it's, you know, like you said, I mean, in general, we're really not going to figure out these answers till trial, but it's like, okay, shock phase, but did you, if you were such in a shock phase, then that means you knew something took place, in my opinion. You knew something
Oh yeah,
very dark took place. That's just how I
yeah,
look at it. But we
yeah.
never know, but, you know, the 911 call holds a lot of answers, in my opinion.
Well, okay. So when it comes to trial, who do you think is going to be put on the witness stand? Dylan,
For sure.
Adam, JD, JS, because they were there that night at the bar.
For sure.
Do you think they'll throw Enan? Maybe Enan will be up there if he's like.
I mean, but he's gonna be ate the fuck up on the stand if they put Enan up on there, because he went back and edited posts on Facebook, and guess what the defense is gonna attack? That's exactly what they're gonna attack.
Oh yeah, and he has a whole history of drugs, so they're just going to say he's not believable anyway.
Exactly. They're gonna
So I guess so
they're
at
gonna
the
tear his
trial.
credibility up out right out the gate.
Yeah, yeah. So at trial, really, is we're really gonna get the story of what's going on. And you know what? Is it gonna be in July? The trial?
No, June preliminary hearing.
And then how long do you think from the preliminary hearing it's going to take for them to go to trial?
Like 2 years.
Do we know? 2 years?
Sometimes it could be all the way to 2 years, up to 2 years.
I wonder. Oh, because they just have to get all prepared to like defend him and prosecute him, right?
Yeah, I mean, from what I was looking at on people, you know, who've been in the field and dealt with things like this particularly, you know, they were saying, you know, after June, we're possibly going to have to wait for 2 years. And I'm like, damn, man, it's, you know, it sucks, but it that's the justice system.
Wow. All right. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I've had my time. I'll let other people call in.
I appreciate you calling in, Hollis. God
Oh,
bless
yeah.
you.
And you know what? I'm ashamed that you are a Cowboys fan and you have never been to Texas.
I've never been to Texas. Nope.
I cannot believe that.
All my exes live in Texas. Nah, I've never been
Oh
there.
my God.
Yeah,
Well,
right?
do one thing. Get yourself a Cowboys ticket and go to Dallas and watch a Cowboys game and then go back home.
Yeah, I'll definitely do. I plan on
Do that one time. Treat yourself to that next season.
Right.
Definitely. You'll have a great time.
I definitely need to do that. You ain't lying about that. I appreciate you calling in, Hollis. God
All
bless
right.
you.
Bye. I'm out of here.
Lock your doors. And shout out to her. If you want to call in 219-885-9693, the floor is yours. What's your theory? What's your thoughts on the unsealed warrant? Let's hear it. I'm sorry. Sorry, this caller should not be talking like this way. But that's the thing. We're gonna hear a bunch of different things that we don't like, you know. There may be things you don't like or the other person may not like, but that's the difference. People, that's why I open my platform for people to speak. Not everybody's gonna see it the same way as everybody else does, or you know, a certain group of people do. It's just it's all over the place. I know what I think. I personally really do think Bryan did this alone, allegedly. Who else? With everything's pointing at him for me, but could there be other players? There is a lot of people that in my community that I love in general that think differently, and I hold no ill opinion towards them at all. I respect their opinion. I respect them for being able to speak what they truly feel rather than to jump on a bandwagon of what I think. You know what I mean? I don't want everybody to think what I think. Hold on, let's see. Go. 406, you're in the mix. What's going on? You're live.
Hi, this is Cynthia.
Cynthia, how you doing?
Reverend Cynthia, yeah. I was just calling in because I had heard since I talked to you last a thing on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what it says is that Maddie and Dylan got in a horrible fight over what Maddie told Adam. And what she told Adam was that Quinn was supplying drugs to that house and that Dylan was selling them. And they'd been going along with it for a while, I guess, to get free drugs and stuff. but they got in a fight, and Maddie threatened to turn him in. And then that it goes on to say that then they hired Bryan to kill these people.
Right.
And he left Dylan in charge of the crime scene, and she called her friends, and they came in and cleaned all the drugs out, and then called the police. It makes everything kind of fit, but you know, it's total speculation. I have no idea if that's true or not. I still tend to think that Enan and Kopaka had something to do with it. I think Enan was certainly the drug dealer, and I think he dealt drugs to Kopaka and Bryan, and I think Bryan and Kopaka might have been buds that hung out together, and that Kopaka, see, the sister said in a questionable post that he was using drugs up in that parking lot. They'd gotten these drugs probably from Enan, and they were doing them in that parking lot above the house, and that Kopaka kept staring in the windows, the girls' windows, and Bryan got pissed and left him there. And that would explain that it was Kopaka's knife and that Bryan had actually handled it, but it wasn't his, and that Kopaka then went ahead, did the killings. And when he came back, I don't know, and I'm confused about it. I really have no idea what happened, but there's all these different things that I hear, and I'm pretty certain, at first I thought absolutely Bryan did it alone.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. But then the more I hear, the more I think there may be more people involved, because so many things don't line up. They don't make sense. Oh, and the last time I called, I said something about Quinn living in on Linda Lane, but he didn't. It was a guy named Kenneth that looked a lot like him, so I was wrong about that. But anyway, what do you think about this? I mean, I'm just totally confused at this point.
The case in general, or?
Yeah, the case in general, and whether he did it alone or had help, or.
I mean, like as far as help, it's not out the realm of possibility. It's definitely not out the realm of possibility. He could have had help, but where my problem comes in is that people who commit crimes like this and have accomplices, they always bring their accomplices down with them. You got that small 10% of people who are like, yeah, gang, I'm not a snitch, and they take their time and they go. But I mean, this guy was a damn teacher, professor, whatever you want to call him, criminology, into all that in school. Like this, if this guy had accomplices, I feel there would have been more arrests, in my opinion. That's just that's how I feel about it personally.
Yeah, possibly, but he may have told his defense attorney about it, but with the gag order, nobody knows about it.
Right. Well, I mean, if that was the case, but if they made an arrest, I think it would be nationwide news.
Right, but they wouldn't make any arrests if the prosecution didn't know what he told his attorney, and all of that's, privileged information.
Oh yeah, client privilege.
Mm-hmm. So absolutely. She wouldn't necessarily be telling anyone at that point.
That's like Kathleen Zellner, who was told, I forgot who she represented and freed from prison, but the guy told her that he murdered people, but she couldn't say anything till he died. Mm-hmm. He wrote up a note or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, there's, like I said, that's not out the realm of possibility, but I do feel like I really do feel like he would have brought anybody down. But hey, who am I? I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm at all. I'm just, that's just what I think.
He could be in the process of that.
Right.
He could be in the process of doing it right now. Well, anyway, I'll get off of here so somebody else can get on. I just wanted to throw that that Reddit thing out that I heard, because it really has me thinking, about
what Reddit fit. What Reddit community tab did you see that on specifically?
I don't know. I actually heard it in a chat, or not a chat, but on one of the shows. I can't even remember which one it was, but they were talking about it being on Reddit. So I think there's some other people in your chat today that may know more about it than I do.
Oh, there's a lot of people that talk about things I've never even seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
the internet's
I've
big.
got a kind of funny feeling about that Quinn kid because he's so, distant with all of this. If his girlfriend was, in the situation that she's in, I would think that he would be a little more out in the front.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. I'm old and old-fashioned, so a lot of things that I think don't even apply anymore.
Yeah. Somebody said, "Who is this guy caller speaking about?" Who was the guy caller is speaking about?
Quinn. You mean Quinn?
Yeah, Quinn.
He's Dylan's boyfriend, Quinn Kelly.
Yeah, some people don't know him.
Oh, okay. He lives in Boise, and he's Dylan's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. I see his name a lot. I've had it emailed me to a lot. The people email me tons of different theories all the time, and I'll go through them. I've seen some pretty crazy theories, but there is. I've seen cases where there is stuff like that. So it's like you can't never rule none of that shit out. Just because somebody is not speaking.
Yeah, and if Maddie, had threatened to tell, turn them all in, that would sure place them in danger. And if they went in to kill Maddie and found Kaylee in her bed and had to kill her, and then on the way out ran into Xana and Ethan and then had to kill them. So I don't know. It's just sad. It's very, very sad, the whole thing. I pray for those families and those kids, and I just hope they'll find the right person and figure it out and do something about it.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. You said this is Reverend Cynthia Hughes, right?
Right.
Thank you for calling in.
Montana.
I appreciate you having a voice in the community. And
yes, thank you for making it available.
Absolutely. No, and even having the courage to come up and speak, because some people just get so angry when they hear other people's opinions and theories and speculate.
Oh yeah, I've got quite a bit of flack about some of the things that I've said, but nobody knows, because everything at this point is speculation, except for the items that the police have collected and we know about. It's all speculation.
Right. Most definitely. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Cynthia. God bless you. Stay
safe.
God
bless you, T-REV.
And lock your doors, please.
I will, and I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, ma'am. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
Shout out to her. If you want to call in 219-885-9693, make sure you call in. I'm only eating chicken nuggets for lunch, Call up and have some lunch. 704, you're in the door. What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, ma'am. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
So what's your thoughts?
I got a lot.
This is T-REV, and you are live on the air, and I do appreciate you calling up, and I know you said you got a lot on your mind. Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's go. All right. DoorDash delivery. That's another level right there of you thinking, all right, and you got a car turning around. They probably got dropped off. There's probably a drop-off car, and they probably went right down that tree line to that little blue house where that white truck's all over the place. They probably had another way out. It sounds like drugs. Somebody owed somebody some money. I think it goes a lot higher up. I really do. I think there's a lot more high up people in this town. Not sure what happened with Ethan and Xana at the segment, at the party, the ball that night, if there was an argument, we still haven't heard if it came exactly from Zana's phone. If she even ordered a DoorDash, that could have got them separated for somebody to open the door. There's just so much around this case. It is blowing my mind. Something's not right somewhere. Didn't you hear about the Hannah Clary? And the revenge of the brothers, and then we hear, maybe Ethan knew something about a guy, or maybe, there was here they are in this all white college, something of somebody being gay, bisexual, whatever got out. There could have been some There's one thing that really...
that person actually messaged me on Facebook one day when I was live. The person that's part of that theory that you just mentioned. The gay theory.
Yes. What gets me is in one clip, in the very beginning of all this, those 4 young guys in the field, those cops were talking to those 4 young guys. This one guy comes out of nowhere. The cop even kind of turns and looks to the right, and boom, there he is holding 2 beer cans. Maybe he was just trying to get the younger guys across the street, but he was also at Jack's house, and another in the body cam footages, but those cops weren't even talking to him, speaking. He was like some kind of distraction for something. He just come out of nowhere, and he's got the bushiest eyebrows I've ever seen. And if BK, if he ain't a hit man, he's being framed. I mean, he was loaded up at home. I mean, he was either, he could have got his masters at the sales and been put all the way across the country to Washington. Is supposed to be dirty, Pullman, all of it. He could be somebody we could be really surprised he is, that was watching somebody that was involved with the drugs. There's just all kind of things around this case. And then going back to Ethan and Zana and the DoorDash, we've heard she was on TikTok at 412. Okay, well, what about the DoorDash? Did she call the DoorDash? Did she actually order that delivery? We haven't heard anything about that or the timeline. I mean, it's just, Moscow had this case for the first 6 or 7 weeks. The FBI comes in, they went in Kohberger's apartment, and right there it says the gag order comes in. Something supposedly found in that apartment would shut, you remember when they said it would shut the whole investigation down? Do you remember that?
I mean, I heard about it, yeah.
All right.
I heard pretty much everything that you could possibly hear about this case, besides a few things recently, as of recently.
All right. Well, when they went in at the apartment after Kopaka was shot, and the gag order comes in effect, and then they say something was found in the apartment that could completely be harmful or in this investigation. Well, supposedly I heard there was his laptop found in there, and there was some stuff on it. And anyway, this is where this gag order comes in. And then if Doc's right, the way he came home that night with, what's that neighbor's guy, Ian Harsh, his family lives on that road, and he lied so many times. So between Bryan, him, Kopaka, and the Moscow Police Department, and I've heard there's some sugar daddies involved, these only fan page stuff. So until June, my head's going just like everybody else's, every which direction you can go. But I do think,
I've seen allegedly, it was allegedly Madison Mogan's, OnlyFans account. It was allegedly, and it was on Instagram, right?
No,
I dug into it, I actually dug into it on live, and the only thing that I found that was compelling about that page was that every follower that she had was either from Boise or Spokane.
Well, then where would Bryan come in on that?
Right.
I heard they said something about pictures that they got his phone. When did they arrest him? In December, I think. November, sometime in December when he got arrested. They've had his phone that long, and then now all of a sudden we've got information. All this information comes out weeks and weeks after. God knows what they could have done to the evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we really don't know if he's got pictures on her. What I don't understand about that is why would someone, even if they were addicted to drugs, went to rehab, got into college, got all, went through all this to get up to his PhD, have a crush on a girl, and throw his whole life away? That makes no sense to me. It's got to be way more than that.
Yeah, like I told the last caller, it ain't out the realm of possibility. I'll tell you that much right now. I've seen some crazy shit go down.
And it wouldn't surprise me if that the frat boys didn't have something to do with it. With Maddie coming out of the bars, or Kaylee said, "What did you say to Adam?" We know Adam knows Jack and the whole crew over there. I don't know if it's. I always thought from the beginning it was something to do with them frat boys, that something got said at the bar that night. Ethan got in an argument that night, and then it, after Moscow and the FBI comes in, then it just goes completely wild every other direction. But I guess I just don't know exactly where to pinpoint it, but there's so much that cannot be explained or make sense. And Dylan's story is completely. I have been in a situation, I promise you. My husband basically come firing through my house with a gun, and when you are afraid for your life, you are going to let out screams that will vibrate off the walls. That's how scared you are. So if these people were being slaughtered in this house and Dylan didn't hear one thing, that is a complete lie. Or they would have all died instantly, and no defense wounds or any of that stuff. If there was struggling and fighting going on, if Dylan was in that house, if she was in the house, I guess she is, if she made this statement to the Moscow police. But when the FBI supposedly spoke with her, she lawyered up. We haven't heard anything. But the screams you would have heard is just a whole nother scream that comes out of your soul that is nothing like somebody going boo at you. It's just, like, I can't explain it to you, but the whole neighborhood should have heard. I really would like to know what's on that recording from the neighbor's house.
Yeah, no doubt. I know the one recording that was released was fake.
And then, you've heard that the whole thing of the 911 call and the time limit from them being on scene, it's just from off gate. It's totally not right. There's just, in 2023, crimes don't go this way. I've never seen so much back and forth and gag orders and, freedom of speech. I don't know how Kaylee's father is not wanting to just, I don't know how he's being so quiet, but if it was me, I don't understand why they think the parents would want to testify. What would they testify? What would they be testifying to? and they're trying to tell them that they're under a gag order and can't speak. That's not true. We have First Amendment rights, freedom of speech. So
Say it again for the ones in the back.
there you go. That's right. And the weirdest thing I just cannot get out of my mind is when the cops had them 4 young boys going through that field, and that bushy-eyed browed guy come popping out of nowhere, and then you got the other 4 sneaking behind the car, and then you hear Ethan got in an argument and said something about steroids and private shrinking up, and then you hear that maybe Ethan and Hunter were kind of or Ethan walked in on somebody and maybe told Maddie or told Zayna, and Zayna of course would have told Maddie. And if that had got out in a Republican white college, could you imagine? I mean, it would just. But now that they brought Kohberger into it, and does his mom and daddy not ever go in his bedroom at home or what? I mean, he sounds like he's either a undercover, a hitman, or into some kind of selling drugs big time.
I've heard that. Somebody came to me and said, and I respect his opinion. He's like, man, Bryan Kohberger is I forgot how he said it. He was like, he's been doing this for a long time. It was just the way he broke. He was speculating, of course, but
how could he have been doing all that all this time?
He thinks that he was doing crimes, and he thinks that he was, doing crimes in Pennsylvania before he came to Washington. But
they did a complete background in Pennsylvania, and only thing they found was he had to call the cops one night because he was riding his bike in the park, and the gate got locked, and they had to come and unlock the gate and let him out. And he has no criminal record in Pennsylvania, and they have him linked. They have some kind of system. There was a program on, I saw it, and they said that nothing. And I've heard he's been creepy at girls at bars and this and that, and I mean he's not. I mean, it's not like you would think he couldn't get a girlfriend or something. Maybe he is socially awkward, but to go so far in school and to work so hard to get to where he's at, I just don't understand just having a crush on a girl and knowing if he was stalking her, he had to know she had a boyfriend. And I think the reason he gets 12 times of him being around the house is maybe he was dropping something off or picking something up at the neighbor's house. And Harsh's first interview, he says something about a black Beamer being in the parking lot. And he also says something about a white Elantra. But you got about 100 white Elantras running around that neighborhood. So you got one in Jack's driveway. It's just so crazy,
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you on that. We speculated on a lot of that. Where you calling in from?
I live in North Carolina.
Well, thank you for calling in from North Carolina. Actually, that's where a lot of my mom's side is. My grandfather that I really never got to meet. He was always that's where my mom's dad's from, North Carolina. My whole mom's side's from North Carolina. I don't know what part you're in, but
I'm right in the middle near Charlotte.
Okay.
But I don't live in the city. I live out here in the country, but I'm just into this. I've really never been into true crime or what, and I have started watching this from the beginning, and I'm just stuck on YouTube. And my fiance said, "You're driving me crazy." He can't even get the TV remote away from me because I want to know this. I want to, and I like transparency.
Was that your husband?
No, he's I guess kind of boyfriend.
Yeah, he was like,
Surprise, motherfucker.
He's like, I'm so tired of watching this. I said, well, go buy another TV and hit the spare bedroom because I'm on it.
Damn. Yeah, no doubt.
Yes, I like Truth and Transparency. I like Doc. I like JR. He's a nut. I could see him in South Carolina running around trying to talk to Buster. But anyway, I just can't get it. One day my brain will go this way, and then, but all the dark clothing and maybe he was undercover and lurking around at night watching somebody and when they say that car went up and did that 3-point turn, that could have been the car that they all rolled out one side and went in the sliding glass door, and then when they came out, went up the tree line. Something about that little blue house and that white truck, Doc's been following. And I do think it goes higher up into drugs. All these people from Boise, it just seems too connected somewhere.
Yeah.
But I do think it's with the up in the higher, like in the probably up to the governor, the DA. I don't even know about Chief Fry and them now because they have, and that one interview, that Fox interview with that guy from the state police back there laughing. Have you seen that?
I've seen like a shot of it. Yeah, I know.
I mean, he's leaning over there laughing with this one guy, and then you have Bryan from News Nation sitting in the police station parking lot, talking to somebody on the phone, and that same white truck pulls up, and then he gets, if you're looking at when they're bringing the furniture out of the house, that same white truck's there. I don't know whose white truck that is, but
yeah,
it goes by the house with a reporter reporting too, so it's everywhere too.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it passes the girls as they're coming out of the corner club.
Right.
So it's just, but like I say, I think there's a lot more involved than I think when the Moscow tried to solve this case.
It's the DNA at the scene that's the problem. I feel like,
right.
There's your issue. DNA at the scene. Belonging to Bryan Kohberger. Touch DNA, we don't matter. It's still DNA at the scene from Bryan Kohberger on a knife sheath. Allegedly, they were killed by a K-bar knife. So it's like, that's where it comes in. We don't know what they have behind the scenes, and that's the thing, and that's where we're at. We don't know what they have behind the scenes. They may have him nailed.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Dylan's story makes any sense?
I mean, from the probable cause affidavit, seeing I can't place myself in Dylan's shoes because I'm not Dylan. I just know what I would do. So me saying what I would do is not necessarily what Dylan would do. But I do think that, 8 hours is long, and I feel like we will get that answered at some point. Maybe we might not, but it's going to be talked about, and I feel like we'll have some type of answer to it at some point. I do. I really feel like we will get an answer for it.
Yep. Yeah. They're even saying that co-packer guy drove a Elantra, but I think they're saying it's a silver color. And when they say suspect car number 1, okay, but where's the suspect car number 2? And does it ever stop? They got, it's just so. And then I heard that the one that rode Payne, the one that rode up
310, I see you. You're good. Huh? No, I said 310. I see you. There's a lot of people trying to call.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go, but there was a comment that Payne flipped on them, and there was a lot of stuff released there that made sense. If you kind of, I don't know if you've heard that interview, but we'll see what happens. I can't wait. I just driving me crazy. But I appreciate you talking to me. Hope you feel better, and we'll find out in June.
Well, thank you for calling and sharing your thoughts and opinions. I do appreciate that, and you having a voice in the community in general. Thank you, ma'am, and I hopefully hear from you again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Lock your doors and make sure you stay safe. Shout out to her, but if you want to call it, you can call back up right now. I seen that 310. You hung up. I was about to answer. Let's see. Okay, here we go. 801. What's going on? You live.
Hey, it's Blue Mustang. Let me pause you on
Blue
the YouTube.
Mustang. What's going on?
Yeah, it's been a while. I had to take a break, honestly, because it was just all consuming. So I've been thinking, as I've been watching all your stuff and getting, and so I was been thinking, it's been a while. I took a break from all of it, but little things have come out,
Yeah,
over
me
every
too.
week.
I took a break too with you.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to work for myself too, and I had to take a whole month to even organize my day. Like, it's different than a 9 to 5, and then you're just, things are exhausting, and this was. So I was like, okay, not going to court till June. I'm giving it a break. But then stuff kept coming out. So I was sitting there thinking, and just like a while back, a few of us were like, what isn't there that should be, and and look at everyone's reactions, and like take a step back and look at everything. And that's what I've been doing, for the past week. Like, things are weird. Like, that's a given. What I think is weird is that I can't even say their name now. I haven't said it in a while. The Goncalves family are going to sit there and say that there's no way that there's drugs in that house. No, not their daughter. There's no way. And so, well, anyone in their right mind is going to understand that that's a party house. It was a party house before they ever moved into it.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, how are you going to tell me that there's nothing there when that would be normal? It would be normal for something to be there, number one. But then that's also strange to me, is like, there should be drugs in that house, and you tell me there's not. We're not saying your daughter did the drugs. We're saying that maybe someone there sold them. That's all, or they were there. It was a party house. There's got to at least be pills in that house. And then, how is it so shocking that someone would think that when Maddie's dad's got a drug history? So how are you going to act so shocked? No, there's no way. Well, Matt, no wonder you guys had that girl all the time. I'm not trying to make it sound like that, but now that makes sense. You guys had her all the time. She was always with them. Well, her dad's got a drug history. Well, that makes sense. That fits better than to sit there and say, nope, that could never happen at a drug house a mile from campus. Seriously? And then, so I thought that was strange. And then you've got some conflicting information where they flat out said that they checked Jack. They did say in the documentary he was here right after it happened. We checked him. No, that's not true. He wasn't there right after it happened. You didn't even get the phone call till 1.
Jack. Oh, you talking about Jack DeCour?
Jack D. No, Jack. Jack DeCour. They said in the documentary he was at the bar. That was him. They wanted to go somewhere else and drink, and he didn't want to go. They said, we know it's not him because he was here right after it happened and we checked him. Well, that's not true. If you didn't get the phone call till 1 o'clock, and if everyone was at the house, when did Jack D find out? Because that's weird that he lives 2 houses down, but everyone and their brother is at that house, probably cleaning it. And that's another thing. It's even in the affidavit that when the cop got there, everyone was just calm as could be. Well, that's weird. How are you going to be calm unless you've had time to adjust?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, the common denominator is drugs. I don't care. There's just, you can't tell me that there wasn't something in that house. And there's plenty of footage where the cops didn't give a shit what they did in that house, as long as they didn't wake the neighbors. We've got, 3 or 4 body cams of 3 or 4 different parties where the cops were like, we don't care what you're doing. We know you're drinking. Just don't wake up the neighbors. And if we have to come back a third time, then we're going to write you a $200 ticket. How many times did we see that? They didn't care what happened in that house as long as they didn't wake the neighbors. And this is what it led to. So it is understandable that it's like, hey, man, you know, someone's in trouble. No, then you've got, okay, then let's remove Bryan completely. Let's just pretend like this never happened and just look at Bryan. Honestly, what's so weird about him? He's got some big eyeballs. Well, he has an eye disorder. If I take off my glasses, my whole face is going to change because I'm not going to be able to see.
Right.
And I'm going to be uncontrollably squinting. He needs to uncontrollably focus on what he's looking at. If he's got that, you know, he's got that condition. Maybe that's the way he has to look. But then we didn't find that out till later. So the whole psycho look stuck to him because no one knew he had an eye disorder. Okay, so he's got some black underwear. You know, that could have been a kitchen knife. Maybe he was eating some steak. I mean, you know, nothing. I mean, yeah, they're the sheep, but he touched it. They can explain that. If you remove him completely, honestly, what's weird about the man?
Yeah.
He's taken the same class that 200 other people are taking.
Yeah, no.
He did some drugs. You know, there's green leafy substances in the bag. Okay, we're not going to put weed on the same parallel as heroin.
Right.
So it's like you remove him completely. It's like, what's so weird about him? What if when they called everyone to say, oh shit, some shit happened, we need to clean this house? How do we know he didn't get that message? Because some of his shit was there. And that's why he drove by. I mean, he drove by. And then the thing is, if the camera picked him up driving by, wouldn't the same camera pick up all those kids going over there?
I feel like it. I mean, if they came from that direction, isn't the camera that house that's like right next door that when you go to Google Maps now and it's blurred out?
Blurred out. Yeah, but I mean, what are they going to do? Dodge the camera? Like, I mean, you know, I mean, if they're coming from the frat house, that camera's going to pick them up coming across the field.
I wonder what direction. I don't know what direction the camera's facing for me to even be able to give an opinion.
It's got to at least face the road because he drove by. And it's like, okay, he drove by 12 times. That doesn't mean he was stalking. He could have been giving them their drugs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and then Xana's mom, history, years of that. And she was even there. She even said that she went there for parent weekend and her daughter wasn't even there. She said that in one of the interviews, which is weird. So it's like you show up, your daughter isn't even there to see you. She's too busy to see you. It's just the common denominator is drugs, 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 drugs. And to sit there and say that there was no drugs in a party house is just retarded. That's what I'm saying. You're taking something out that should be there. And then to have all these kids there for hours before the cops were even called, what were they doing? And then when the cops showed up an hour later, I had a quadruple homicide. That's weird that no one showed up quick enough. And then they're just like, all calm as could be, standing in a group, and they say died, or they said death, or they said something. I don't think 10 kids are going to be in shock in the same exact way. I don't think that someone would be hysterical. You can't have, I mean, that's too organized for me. You show up, there's 4 dead kids, and then there's a group of kids and they're just standing there. Like like they were busted. That's what it reminded me of. You got a whole group of kids and they're not saying nothing and they're quiet as can be. That looks like that everyone was like, don't say anything.
You know, and what about the friend of, what was it? It was Ethan's best friend allegedly entered the crime scene and checked for a pulse.
Oh, all those kids were all over that place.
Yeah,
I can't wait till this hits because that place is so. And then Brian's like, "Oh, I can't wait to get his honor." And people are like, "That's so weird." This is a college student. They talk different. He's not. He can't wait until this is exonerated. That means he's been charged and then found not guilty. That's what exoneration is. Is when you're charged and found not guilty, you're exonerated of all charges. He's going to say it different. And I just think that you can't say that drugs weren't all up in this shit. And then I really think all those kids went and cleaned it out. I think it's weird that they said, yeah, Jack was at the bar all night long. Well, his friend was like, nope, he was here. So I just thought that was weird. That he probably, someone probably everyone thought it was him. So, but there was a reason, he was at the bar, but people lied about him being at the bar. And then the parents were like, we know it wasn't him because he was here right after it happened and he was clean. really? Because, this happened at 4 o'clock in the morning. He was probably asleep when it happened, but there's no way he was at your house getting checked right after it happened. It's just, what I'm saying? Like, when you talk freely, things are going to come out. She had an alibi. Who was she? They didn't have to go up the steps. What the hell did that mean?
Yeah,
Never saying
what
Bethany
did it
probably
mean?
wasn't even there.
And
Yeah.
you're
It's
talking
like,
about when Steve said about
Yeah.
why did he go upstairs?
and if this is a drug thing, they didn't have to go upstairs. What if it was some type of, blackmail, or someone was going to snitch? Because now there's rumors that Maddie was going to snitch on everyone, and her and Dylan got into an argument. There's so much shit. But if you say that there's no way this is drug related, I mean, you gotta be like retarded. Because this is a party house. It was a party house before they moved into it. Everyone knew that was. There's several people that have said it was like that when I lived there, and that was a year ago.
Say?
So before they ever moved in, everyone knew, and they moved in there anyway. And to sit there and then to have all their parents being drug users, it baffles me that someone's going to be like, nope, there's no way. I get it. You don't want that tied to your name, but you can't. And no one's saying that they did the drugs. We're just saying that there was probably drugs there, and someone was taking them and getting rid of them and doing this and that. And then you've got all these families that are prominent, and they're like, no one wants their kid tied to nothing. I can guarantee some kids went in there and did something. Like hours before the 911 was even called. What are you doing?
Yeah.
For 2 hours.
What are you doing? You got 8 hours. So what? The police, the phone call was made around what? 11, 12, 11 a.m., 12?
I thought it was like at 10:30, but then the cop didn't even get there for an hour. Like the affidavit, you can lie to people to get information, but that affidavit has to be factual. And I thought it was weird that like the cop gets there and everyone's just calm and collected, and outside, yeah, after 2 hours, you're gonna compose yourself, and then you're gonna shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, yeah, it's like when you have to make it fit. There's things that are, I think, just like when people watch body language, it's like, how are you supposed to react and how are you trying to react? What is supposed to be there, what should be there and isn't? Just like they said, if Bryan's been there, his DNA is going to be there. How do we know that he didn't hang out there and leave that knife there? Oh, yeah, this is cool. He's socially awkward. Maybe he wanted to show off. He could have he could have sold it to someone. He could have, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure he was there. And then if he drove by 12 times, I'm sure there was a reason. And he drove by the day after. Well, if he got a message that some shit went down and he drives by, but then everyone's there, well, then why stop? It looks like everything's fine to me. People are here. And he just drives by to look like what the hell happened. And then there aren't any cops. There's just kids that are there. Because there wasn't a phone call made until 10:30. So if he rolls by at 9 o'clock, because everyone got a message that some shit happened, and then everyone else sent messages to everyone else, because that's how the Congalvis family found out, was through, 3 other people making phone calls and making phone calls and making phone calls. I mean, it eventually got to them. And then, if Bryan's frequenting the area and being their supplier, and then how do we know he didn't roll by and pick some shit up? Or drive by to look and see what happened, because everyone found out something happened at 8:30. Wasn't it like 8:30 when she called the first person over?
I'm not sure. I can't answer.
Yeah,
because I'll be off on that. That'll just be me guessing and speculating. I don't even want to take it there.
I mean, but it's like, to say that nothing ever happened to that house, to me, that's a red flag. To say, nope, they were all squeaky clean, they never did nothing. There was nothing bad in that house. It's like, really? Because it was known to be a drug house before they moved into it. You can't deny that. Those are facts. People that lived there said people partied there. It wasn't just a private residence in an apartment building. That was a whole party house, and everyone knew about it before they ever moved into it. To say that it suddenly was perfect because they lived there, with a history of drugs just running through the family.
I mean, you gotta think about it like this: when somebody's loved one dies, they're not gonna paint
No. Well, I
picture
know,
of
but
drug problems
well,
and this
no,
and that. But in
right?
reality, we know the drug problems that we have in the USA. I mean, you got
Yeah. Well,
heroin,
no,
we got
I'm
fucking
not saying that the
Molly.
kid, well, I'm not saying the girls did it, but to be a parent of a college student that lived in a party house,
Oh, of course. I mean, they had
how
parties there. Hell yeah.
delusional are you? How delusional are you going to be? Like, there's no way that was even there, or there's no way that no. I mean, to be honest with yourself, I wouldn't be surprised if something was there, but I don't think that was the reason, and they couldn't even say that. There was just
I
no
could
way that
almost
there was
get.
drugs even in the
I'd
house.
be willing to put everything on it. Drugs were done in that house, and in general. But for me to say drugs are involved, I don't know. I like, you know what I mean. I'm on the fence with drugs are involved as far as a motive for the murder, but I could almost guarantee drugs were done in that house.
Yeah. And
You,
then to
you
me,
get what
as
I'm
far
saying?
as,
They're getting you got parties, you're drinking. Yeah, of course. And as college, and I've been around college places here and there in Virginia. Like I've been to like 2 college parties. Didn't even know nothing about college, none of that. My friend just brought me over to a party at Norfolk State University, and I was like, I just popped up out there, and they were, people smoking blunts and getting high and shit like that. I mean, that happens. That's like the college thing. People get high, drink, all types of shit.
Yeah.
Do I think that drugs were involved for the murder? I really, personally, I don't believe that, but it very possibly could be.
Yeah. Especially with how deep it just seems everything goes. Everyone knew everything, cops knew everything, and it's just like I mean, if you're gonna snitch on someone, which was a different rumor that popped up, I mean, how many people are gonna get in trouble? But to me it's like either it was very well planned or it's a setup, because there's too much coincidences, there's too much there's just too much shit. It's too clean. And then it's not. It's like, you got all these kids cleaning up stuff and getting rid of stuff, and then it's like the affidavit is weird, and they can't even lie about that. Whatever's on the affidavit, like, no one can lie about that, because that needs to be a warrant for someone's arrest. So it's just, like I said, either it was very, like, methodically planned. I mean, either he didn't do it or he did. And either it's methodically planned or it's a setup, which it wouldn't be hard. I don't even see very much. Oh, they got criminal books. Okay, well, how was that evidence? That was what he studied. There's a couple of there's a gun. Who cares? I don't know how it would make relevance.
What, with the gun?
Just any of it. I mean, now they're going to collect anything that they think is relevant, but I didn't see anything that didn't just look like normal shit that someone had.
Yeah, no doubt. But the gun, I don't know. Did he control him with the gun? Was it,
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna. Yeah, it's just it's just a lot. It's no matter what. It's like when this all starts, it's definitely not going to be quick. I did not watch the Murdoch trial because it was like all these crime. Once I got on this and it was exhausting, I didn't want to look at anything else. I didn't. But that was so damn quick. I was like, I would watch the recap. I would watch like an hour of, the gun comparison, or gosh, when he was on his son's video, because I don't know if you watched any of it, there was a recap where his son was recording a video of, they had Labrador retrievers, and his son was recording a video on the Murdoch trial because he thought there was a kink in the dog's tail, and it was like a 1-minute video, and he's recording this dog's tail to send it to his friend because his friend was the owner, and you heard his dad in the background, and within 5 minutes they were killed. And I was like, holy shit, like, that's just so horrible that it was just divine intervention that his dad and his son recorded that video, because that put him there. And his phone tracked him walking all over the damn place. Like, you're going to go kill your whole family, don't take your phone with you. But I mean, I didn't watch, I was too exhausted to watch anything else because that was like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the video of what got him was that video and his cell phone showing everything. But to me, it's like this is going to be so much crap, because there's going to be all this whatever footage, there's going to be, reasons why this was this and that was that. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be something. And by the time June rolls around, and that's a preliminary, and by the time, maybe there's, a couple months go by, it would have been practically a whole year, He'll probably get any decent court date's going to be September or October of,
Yeah, no
after
doubt.
June rolls around. It would have already been a whole year by the time
Yeah, no doubt. And I don't mean to cut you off. There's somebody else calling in. I appreciate you calling in.
Timer. I was waiting for the timer.
God bless you. Thank you so much for calling in and having the voice.
You too.
Thank you. 252, what's up? You live.
What's going on, Big Lou, Carolina, baby?
What's going on, Lou? What's up? What's going on with you, man?
Hey, just chilling out, man. Got some time off, some much needed time off. Checking in with you, man.
Yeah, what's going on with you, man? What's your thoughts?
A whole lot of things going on, man. All popping off at once. 2 cases, yo.
Yeah, so, I mean, where's your brain at with it?
I don't know, man. The thing with the Kohberger, we'll bounce back to Kohberger. The other one's kind of done now, kind of finished. Stick a fork in him with Alex, but Kohberger, this thing that they were kind of tracking him the whole time, man. It kind of was like they were tracking that car and himself from the get-go. And it turns out, from what I've heard, and maybe you've heard different, that they were under surveillance for quite a long time on him. And the controversy is, knowing that he's the man, why not get him while the getting is good and get in with the goods in the car, as opposed to waiting and letting it get a little bit more information, surveil him and see where it plays out. And I want to get your stance on that, whether that was something that they lost some things along the way by waiting. What's your standpoint on that?
Man, my standpoint, honestly, I don't even really know what my standpoint is on it. All I know is it's just a bunch of drop shit right now. We're just getting piece by piece, right? So I'm waiting for everything to really come out, which is going to be at trial. But I do honestly now, before I was saying in June, I don't think nothing will really drop. But actually now in June, I really do think we'll get some more information. I think we'll get some more valuable information in June, because it'll actually hit, maybe it'll come out publicly. I feel like some stuff, not everything at all, right? But some stuff is going to come out in June.
Yeah, everybody's throwing it out there, man. They're saying, murder weapon's been found. Nobody has ever, knife.
Nobody ever said a murder weapon was found, though, right? Because if you remember when Chief James Fry was being interviewed, he was asked that specifically, and they said no. But this is where my question comes in, and this is where I'm at with it. When he was questioned that, did he have the evidence already that was grabbed from Pennsylvania when they picked up Bryan?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So did they have any of that to be able to go through that evidence that they collected? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
You know what I mean? I don't think that Chief James Fry and them had the evidence that was there yet. I don't think it arrived. They weren't able to do testing on all of it yet at that point. You get what I'm saying? Right. This whole time we're all sitting, there's testing and shit being done. People got to think about stuff like that. There's testing being done. They're stripping his fucking card apart. They're going through all these items that they collected. And I mean, that's where I'm at with it. I know they're doing their job on that end. I know they're going through every little piece of evidence that they would call evidence, or that they collected, which would be them looking for anything from the victims, which would be DNA from them, or any, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
So
especially on the clothing.
So in your heart of hearts, man, straight up, man, you think they got the ace and they're just not playing it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's
You
what
think they got?
I feel that.
I kind of do too. I just kind of do. I think they got the ace and they're playing it, playing games right now. Just kind of like Cool Hand Luke, man. But you know, Alex was a little different situation. There was a lot of connection, family connection, and his dirty dealings and all that. It added up. Now we don't have this on this case, so this case is really going to come down to straight up evidence. I mean, you either you show it if you got it. If you ain't, I'm sorry for you. I hate to be like that, but it's just it's going to be a different situation, I think, but I think they got it. They're just playing it.
Oh yeah, and when Bryan really gets to, I don't know, man. I don't know. I like a lot of people. I've been having this discussion with one of my buddies that I talk to. We text back and forth. I've been having this discussion. Well, my buddy seems to think that Bryan will accept the plea. Like for some reason, he's like, man, he's gonna accept the plea deal when he sees the whole hand against him. He's gonna accept some type of plea deal. Like, I think they're going for death.
Yeah,
but,
I think they're going to show him. They're going to show it at the end, and he's going to have a bad decision to make.
That's what I'm saying.
I think. Right.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of speculation going on right now, though, with everything that they've dropped in this, especially the knife being at the top, which I'm speculating about it. Like, what is, you labeled a Smith & Wesson pocket knife, but you didn't you just got knife number 1 up top with, not even a make model of it. Not, is it a K-bar? Is it not? What is it?
I mean, yeah, you can come up with the whole cutlery of knives if they're all like little pocket knives and Boy Scout knives. I mean, you can collect them all day long. You ain't got the real knife. I mean, what good does it do? And the last thing, I'm gonna leave you, man. I'm gonna bounce out because I know you want to get somebody else. It's just gonna come down to whether they have it or they don't. My last theory, my last question to you is what you're feeling on this thing. Everybody's talking about if the shoe don't fit, you must have quit. The footprint on the floor, if it don't measure 13 inches, and they didn't collect any Vans. My contention is, and I'm just throwing this out there, I'm not necessarily a DM hater. Even though I'm very suspicious on that situation and been vocal on that. I'm thinking, and I'm gonna throw this out there to you, the shoe print that was Vans that they didn't collect probably will. I'm just gonna say probably will not measure up to being Bryan Kohberger's shoe size. So I'm gonna throw the theory out there that the way everybody's been acting and suspicion and nobody calling when they should have and people not being honest, I'm going to throw this out there to you, that the Van shoe is going to belong to one of the surviving members in the house.
Yeah, one of the surviving members is somebody that walked in that morning, and if it's true that somebody went in there or Ethan's best friend went in there and checked their pulse or him and Xana's pulse, then I'm putting it to either that person or could have been Hunter. It could have been, you know what I mean? That's where I think it came from. One of them.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to identify that. I mean, but I'm going along the lines of it's either DM. It's going to be Bethany, DM, or the pulse checker, who is, I guess, Hunter. And that's what I'm thinking. And if so, fine. I mean, Hunter will be clear. But now, if it don't come back to Hunter, then DM and Bethany got some more splaining to do. If it matches up to some of their shoe wear, which I'm quite sure they have Vans, and from what I understand from other social media sites, that they've been photographed as the girls love Van shoes. for whatever,
Well,
for
what?
what's that worth.
So, okay, so that brings. I'm glad you brought that up because somebody, a very good, member of mine and part of the Rev Gang family has pointed out a few things. One thing that they pointed out that was very interesting, and this goes to Chains. Chains is in my Discord. Chains, if you're in here, shout out to you. Chains discovered. Well, it's not like it's a good discovery. It's good. It's a good point that she brought up and a good screenshot that she shared from it was from the you remember the house disturbance where they called the police and the police showed up, or somebody called the police for a noise complaint, and it's
Yes, sir.
alleged that Bethany answered the door.
Right.
If you go back to that footage and when the door opens, what does she have on her feet? A pair of Vans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that it was her Vans, but it just shows that she has a pair of Vans. So I mean, that leaves that out there. Could it have been her that she just walked through and peeked in there and freaked the fuck out? Possibly.
And I'm not at all implying that they were involved in anything. I'm just saying that maybe they went to do a little bit more checking at what they've admitted to. You know what I mean? They saw a little bit more, waited a little longer. Not to say that, I was in there stabbing somebody. They weren't, I don't believe that. I think there's a little bit more knowledge than what's being said. And, that's just my personal viewpoint, allegedly personal view. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's going to be a wild ending. It's going to be one for the history books. It's going to be one for the people making books and making history, and it's going to be number 2 to OJ. I'm going to say that right now. So,
this trial?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's definitely a big one. I've heard multiple people say this is the big, even including experts. This is going to be the biggest trial since OJ.
And I don't really believe there's a lot of conjecture out there about the drug connection and everything else. My opinion only.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yes, I do think sorority girls are going to have the drugs. Fraternity boys are going to have the drugs. In any college setting, it's a known thing. I think Dylan probably was the hookup for the house and the hookup for the house parties. Not a dealer. There can be a difference. Dealing to your friend or bringing it to your friends is one thing. Bringing it to your friends and the whole community and people coming in and out of the house, pulling up to your yard is another thing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So that's where I stand on that. I think she was the girl that what do you need? I can get it. What do we need for the next party? Somebody want, I think she was that kind of girl. I don't know, but that's, if there was the drug addiction, that's as far as it went, as far as I think. But
yeah, man, I don't know, man. We got some time on our hands till this trial goes off.
Oh yeah.
We definitely do. We got some time on our hands until then, and so.
Glad to hear you back on the air, man. You keep on rolling, man. I know you had some things going on, man, but we need you out here, brother.
Oh yeah, we're good over here, man. Sometimes, if you're not mentally, and this is for anybody out there, if you're not mentally in the right place and your energy's off, or you just feel, sometimes you just need to step back and take a breather and recollect yourself,
But you were the marathon man. You can't be the Energizer Bunny forever, man. You got to take some breaks.
Hey, look, all you gotta do is pull up my live history and look at how long I've been doing lives this long for. I've been doing lives this long for 5 years, damn near. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing lives for a long time that are super long, so it's just, that's nothing to me. I I've been doing it for a long time, but this case, as far as true crime, I just started true crime on YouTube, which September 6th. September 6th, you can take it back. It started at the Kylie Rodney case. I jumped in September 6th, and I ain't been out since. It's true crime. I didn't know, the community on YouTube. I didn't know there was a community of true crimers on YouTube. I knew that people looked there and made content, but I didn't know that there was this beautiful community out there, which there's a lot of great people that I've met on here to talk about the same, and everyone has the same interest I have, and we all have different opinions. Some of us have the same opinions, but a lot of, I like hearing all sides, not just one side. I don't like to be the person to control a narrative and, have people that are in my stream, believe me. If they don't believe me, I'm offended and pissed off. Like, go off my, you know what I mean? I like hearing all sides and having a bunch of different eyes. I mean, there's nothing like it, man. It's good to have a bunch of people that are into the same thing that I'm into. I've always thought, I've always been alone by myself watching. I'll be watching marathons of See No Evil or the Murder Tapes now, and all these different types of shows that I watch. Court Cam. I can keep going. Dateline. I've been watching Dateline for a long time. HLN with Nancy Grace, Fox, different types of shit that I would always watch. Snapped. It's just, I always watch that stuff by myself, and I was like always in my own thoughts by myself, like, damn, what, you know what I mean? Now I have you guys to talk to these crimes about, and then we get to discuss everything. It's cool to hear everybody else's perspective rather than my own, or just, you know what I mean? Because usually it's just me thinking. Before September 6th, it was always me just like you guys, just thinking and not having nowhere to really speak at. And now, that's why I like my platform the way it is because you guys get to come on and call and just speak about how you feel about the crime, or, what you think, or speculate. And that's what makes it great. And I remember during the whole time, and I'll never forget it, the Idaho 4 case is just, it's been an eye opener for me on true crime in general, because I mean, this case is huge. I feel like it was damn near bigger than Delphi.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just the gruesomeness to this crime that's just, it hits different. In the manner that their lives were taken and seeing their family. I don't know. It was just different experience. Going through the experience with all of you and all of the speculation and everybody calling in every day. It was just something that I couldn't stop until somebody was put behind bars. Like, I couldn't stop going live. I woke up every morning at 6 o'clock or 7 a.m. I was live from 6 to 7 a.m. to friggin' 6 p.m. at night. And literally, rinse, repeat. I mean, I did streams with Tattoo Rebel on other cases. Shout out to Tattoo Rebel, who's in here right now. Eismic on stream. Santa Joe, a bunch of different people. Like, so I met so many good people in the true crime community to talk about these things that we're all interested in. And that's one thing that it comes down to, and that's justice.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
I first got turned on to you, man. I didn't know you from Adam, man, and I got the full orientation, getting to know you through the true crime venue. But then looking into you, man, I got into your talent in the rap game, which floored me. You are a major talent, underrated, and wow, I was just like, wow, man. So keep both of them up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna do everything that I do personally. Some people are here for certain things, and I respect it. But I do a lot of things. So true crime just ain't my only thing that I do. But I do tons of different things. And I know we all do. We all have different hobbies and things that we do outside of true crime. But my whole life, it's been Netflix true crime, ID channel true crime, TV true. I'm always into cases, and whether it was the DC Mansion murders or Missy Bevers or the Delphi case, or You know, I forget this. There was this one case in Washington where this guy was killing a bunch. I can't remember this dude's name to save my life, but he was killing women and chopping their body up and putting it into different trash cans. And this was back in like 2015, it was
Right,
like 2014, 2015-ish. It was right after the DC Mansion murders. Nancy Grace was covering it, but it was very mysterious because they, you know, he was chopping these bodies up and dropping them in neighborhood garbage cans. It just, I don't know. I've just always been into true crime, bro. It's just never been able to have people like you guys to talk to about. So I'm blessed to have a lot of you talk to me in general. You know, some of you feel the opposite. Like, I'm blessed. Oh my God, I'm on the line with T-REV. Now, in reality, I'm excited to talk to you guys because or else I'd be going crazy in my own head on the other side watching TV and like, damn, thinking about these crimes, but nobody, you know, I would talk to people that I had in my circle, but they're all about the rap game and didn't know shit about true crime. They're like, what? Huh? You know, that's how it's always been for me. But
Oh yeah, but
to have you guys, man, it's awesome. That's all I have to say on that.
you're spitting it out, man. Just keep it up, man. We love you to death, man.
I appreciate you,
All
brother.
right.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you calling in. God bless you, man. And I hope hopefully I hear from you again. I've heard from you before. I recognize your voice. So
252 loves the 757, baby.
yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. God bless you,
Have a good
brother.
one.
Thank you for calling in, man. Stay safe. I hope your family's doing well. And I know I'll hear from you again.
All right, man. Later.
Later, my man. Shout out to Lou, man. You want to call in 219-885-9693. You know the deal. Sandra, hi T-REV. I miss you. Thank you. Yeah, DC, thank you. Tattoo Rebel Eismic, what up? Same T. 763, you're live. What's going on?
Hi, T-REV.
What's
Welcome back.
Thank you. How you doing?
This is Terry from Minnesota. I've been listening to you. I am so happy you're back.
I noticed your voice.
So, one thing before we start talking about the Idaho case, I watched a lot of YouTube videos on Murdoch. That was kind of a boring case, you know, interesting. But there's one fact that I picked up today is he had so much money he couldn't even put headstones on their graves. You know,
right?
I mean, and you like true crimes like I do, and you know, people are so sick out there that I work in. My job is I see a lot of people. Now I look at them when I see them coming and going, and I'm thinking, are you a serial killer? You know, it's put you on the edge on both these cases. I mean, it's crazy. And I'll talk to Idaho case, you know, there's a lot of evidence that we're seeing. But my question as you're talking, and I've read this, that there's a lot of evidence it's not going to be his, you know. I'm, you know, in the house, for example, at his parents' house. You know, a lot of it's going to be his parents, you know. The Idaho case, I mean, the girls, I mean, the college. The one thing that really bugs me a lot is there's not enough evidence in that house of him. One little spot, you know.
Yeah, no.
You know, I don't like that. You know, sorry, I broke my rib. I fell in Minnesota.
Oh wow!
I don't
okay, damn. You recovering right now?
I'm in pain. I'm in pain, but I'm so glad you're here because I'm laying in bed. Got back from the doctor. Long story short, and then there you were on. I mean, it's just you're a god to me. Thinking I want to hear your opinion. I want to read what everyone says. You know, I'm glad you're on today because I'm laying in bed. Besides the point, back to the case. Enough not evidence for a defense in that house. One little spot. You know, are they is there a big bomb that we're gonna find, like bring up Murdoch on these phones? You know, that was the bomb on that last case was the cell phone. You know, I want your opinion, what you think about that. And driving by anybody's house, you know, that can happen.
Well, the shopping's good. The shopping's good in Idaho.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what allegedly he said.
You know, and it can ping. You never know. He's following beautiful girls. This is why we're so all intrigued. These are beautiful college kids. Justice. I mean, it's a family that hits home. It hit home to me. You know, and then talk about drugs. Okay, I got kids that went through college. You know, of course they're gonna try marijuana. I mean, hell, you only have to go 10 miles across the border to get it in Washington. You know, and of course you're gonna have a party house. I mean, come on, people are gonna come in and out. They're known for it. You know, I mean, and they have the right to. I had big parties that I went to at the University of Minnesota at frat row, sorority row. They were fun back in 1990. You know, and it does happen. You know, I think the defense, and you know, I'm totally on everyone's side, hoping it's Bryan Kohberger, you know, on this, but the defense is going to eat a lot of this up. You know, you're seeing the crime scene in and out, people not wearing gloves, footies, you know. It's going to be interesting to convict someone, and my question is to you, to really convict someone, you're going to have solid evidence, and you're going to have a trail. Alec got convicted, you know it as well as I do, that phone, that Snapchat, you know.
Yeah, I watched the Netflix series, and that summed up everything for me.
Yeah, and another thing, and then I'll let it make it brief. I mean, I want your opinion on this, and I forgot because I watched the Netflix thing too. There's got to be justice for this Chris guy. I mean, what if he did have an affair with us? You know, it happens. You know, maybe something happened with him to be thrown in the road, your head beaten. I mean,
wasn't that Steven?
Yeah, Steven. That's one thing I want you to, because you're so good at this justice stuff. You should search into him, because justice really needs.
Hey, I'm just as good as you. You're just as good as me. I'm no better than the next.
No, but I'm saying justice does have to be served, don't you think?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. That kid was found in the road dead. Yeah.
Rich kids. I mean, my kids had a good life, okay? And if that would have happened on one of our boats at our cabin, you know, drinking and stuff like that, that does happen. That was an accident. I'm changing the subject, so a lot of things are going through my head. But that's an accident. You're going to pay the price what your kid did. You know, thank God I never went through with that, you know, with my children. But it does happen with the rich. You know, the rich are going to bring these kids out, you know, and I mean, they probably flaunted their money in the small town. They obviously got away with a lot of justice for so many decades, you know.
Yeah, no doubt. I think personally, I mean, there was that rumor, what was it, Buster? Yeah, Buster had something to do with it, or allegedly, you know, it was out there. I was just thinking yesterday, I was like, damn, what if he tries to, I mean, you already allegedly killed your wife and son, right? And all these weird payments were going out to your drug dealer or whatever. You had 9,000
That's a lot
here.
of pills, T-REV. His liver had to be shot. I mean, do you really think someone can take that many opiates in one day?
Hell no. Fuck no. You're
really
overdose.
think about it. You know, I can be honest to you on one thing, T-REV. I'm sober of alcohol. I was in the big house at Hazleton in Minnesota. I saw the first time what heroin was like. I never knew about it, but they weren't taking that many pills or opiates that that's gotta. I mean, I think that he's. I mean, do you really think that's what I wanted your opinion? I mean, alcohol can kill you just as much as that. And thank God I can say I'm sober today, going on 6 years.
Congratulations, and
You know, and I'm
continue
proud
to
of
stay
it.
on that path.
You know, and so I can see what addiction is, other than what my addiction was.
Mhm.
Not being through it, but I had a neighbor where we lived that was addicted to pills and was snorting them, and now he's sober, thank God. I asked him, and he said, "There's no way in hell you can do that many pills in one day." So do you think that's a lie?
There's no telling. There's no telling with that. You can build up a tolerance, and your body can only take so much. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, the
So
man can't even sit in court without shaking. He wants those pills so bad right now, and you know it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he came out with something in a year or less about throwing his son Buster under the bus on that Steven murder, allegedly, and that's me speculating and just thinking.
Exactly. We always have to say allegedly until it's proven.
I mean, it's not true in case you heard it from law enforcement. I'm just speculating in general. It wouldn't surprise me if I seen a story on the news that says Alec Murdaugh says Alec Murdaugh says his son Buster killed Steven. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever.
Oh, anything can change in a dime, and you can see it right now how this world's coming to. And you know, I'm just telling you, the world's coming to this, and people may not like my comment, what I'm going to say. And I live in the state, and I used to work in the city. Everything changed after George Floyd's death, as we are today in COVID.
Yeah.
And I will not put up my opinion either way on George Floyd, but I worked and been in situations over that in Minneapolis and was feared of my life, loving Minneapolis for over 55 years, just 54 years. It's changed in my state. But you said, oh my God, and I'll let everyone talk. And this is how it is after what happened in my state. People are nuts now. You know?
Yeah, people are nuts. There's a lot of the world's fucking crazy right now.
Yeah, and it all changed in the last George Floyd. I mean,
Even before that, it's just social media is as
it's social media too. You're right. We wouldn't have good people like you. You know,
social media has brought social media has changed the world in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? A lot of people's kids are influenced by a lot of different people that are like myself on YouTube, and you know what I mean? You're able to do different things that usually back in the day before we had internet, you would turn on and watch the news, or you know what I mean? Read the paper. Now it's, you know, you can get everything you want to hear and extra
all on your phone.
on your phone. Just open your phone up.
But I'll let you go. But I'll listen to you again, and I'm so glad you're back, because I'm getting sick of the other little YouTubers because they don't give us a chance to speak like you do, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you. I always will give you guys a voice to come up on here and use your voice to speak. That's why I like doing it. And you know, it's not, you know, like I said, I you've probably heard me say this before, but I used to do open panels all the time, which I'm gonna start doing a couple open panels here and there, because it's good to have open panels with some other people that I know and bring them up, and we sit here and go back and forth and talk and conversate and go through stuff, especially on, you know, especially when there's a case that catches my attention, and I like bringing in other brains on panel, inviting people up on StreamYard, and they come up on here and we go through the different things that we can dig through. It's great to have great minds. Shout out to Tattoo Rebel and Ismic and a bunch of other people that have been up on panel with me to talk about these things, because I've spent plenty of time with those people. Detective John, I haven't. You know, Detective John just had a stroke.
I read that on Facebook on the Idaho murders, and I'm like, wow, that's a bummer. Have you reached out to him?
Yeah, I did reach out to him to check on him. What was it? Probably about a week ago. I reached out to check on him. I haven't heard back from him though. Not,
Okay.
I'm gonna hit him up again today when I get off live to make sure he's okay, because I haven't heard back from him, and I was just checking on him to see if he was, how he was recovering. But if you go back to my Missy Bevers live that I did not too long ago, he actually called in.
I saw that.
Yeah, he called in during that live. So that's when he had broke the news to me that he had a stroke.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Or I must have missed it because I have to get up so early to go to work in the morning. I usually have you timed, and then I fall asleep right away.
Yeah.
But one thing I want you to do for me, because you watch the same Netflix, and you're such a good man, and I know you can get answers, and maybe you can get answers to South Carolina. We should look into Stephen case and maybe do a poll on your channel if people would be interested, because we're going to wait a long time for this Idaho case.
Oh no, we definitely got a long time on that. There ain't no doubt.
Maybe we should search into it because you're the voice. I'll give you the ideas.
There is I've been getting a lot of cases that people are bringing to me. They're like, man, you check this one out. There's a trial about to go on right now with these boys, and there's actually this one. I don't know if Marlene is in here, but she sent me one, and I was looking at it last night, and I was like, damn, this is crazy. But I need to do a little bit more digging before I actually come online and start talking about it, because I want to know everything inside and out.
Or maybe some of us listeners will start digging into it. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, they stated on News Nation, Bryan, that they are reinvestigating the case. So I would assume that they got the family, and the family, was not nice to some people that I take, He's got to face these guys in jail. They ran the town. I never even heard of a small town like this running the whole town,
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to just sit back and wait, because, those prosecutors came from another county, and he's actually a senator too, I think. I heard it right. But I think he's going to get his nose into it. I just have a gut feeling.
There ain't no doubt about that. There ain't no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah, you can see how proud he was.
Yeah, no.
He was just served, for jury to come back that fast is kind of unbelievable, But as soon as you saw the video of the dog, you knew he was done.
Cooked.
But I will keep you because I want to listen, and I greatly appreciate you letting me go over my time to express how I feel. And have a good night. How long are you going to be on today?
I'm not sure. I got a few things I gotta go do here shortly, but I mean, I'm gonna be live a lot more.
When you get to get that box out again?
Shit, I do all the time.
Maybe you should get it out on a Friday night or
I do all the time. In fact, I'm planning on I'm actually stamping a plan to go do a little 4 or 5 location tour and make it episodes on the channel for people who are into that side of things. I do know there's people on my channel that aren't into that type of stuff, and then I have people who are. So it's like, I'm actually in the mix of lining up a RV, a trip, and bringing a couple members with me on that trip to go to these different locations.
Are you going over to Illinois? Because there's a lot over there.
I've been looking at a few places in Illinois, Kentucky. Where else? Virginia. There's a spot in Virginia. What is it? The Cavalier Hotel. I want to say it's the Cavalier Hotel. I stayed there a while ago when I was young, and it was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, no, I'm planning on doing that. But I got a lot of stuff in the mix that I've been talking about doing. So
Well, just get your little board out, like you said, and start checking the list off when you get through it.
that whiteboard I'm gonna hang up right behind me, right on this
Yep.
friggin' wall right here. You know.
All right. You have a great day, and I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you calling in. God bless you, man. And
Yep. You too. God bless.
thank you. I hope your ribs feel better, and I hope you heal. I hope you heal properly.
Yep. Okay.
Take
Have a
care of
great
that,
day.
and make sure you rest. Don't
I have to rest, and I'm wrapping. All they did is give me a wrap.
don't stress your ribs. They need to heal. So make sure
it hurts.
that you lay wrapped up and hang in there. And
That's
God
what I-
bless you. And I'm gonna pray for healing for you.
Take
Thank you
all
so
your
much for
time off.
calling.
All right. Have a good day.
God bless you, man. Shout out to her. And I know exactly what case you're talking about, Natasha. That's from my hometown. The one case when the boy was found hanging from his swing set and his hands closed is creepy and terrifying. You're talking about the Sean Daughtery case. I know for 100% fact that's the case you're talking about. It took place in Yorktown, Virginia. That's hometown 757 shit right there. That's hometown. That's where that happened in my neck of the woods where I grew up from, where I come from. That Sean Daughtery case, that case is absolutely crazy. And there's still a petition for that. Her trial should be coming up soon. I don't remember hearing she went to trial yet. I will accept any good vibes and or prayers. Hi, Priestess says, sending so much positive and healing vibes, caller. Thank you so much. No doubt. Shout out to everybody who's called in. Yeah, yes, I know that case. That case, I've covered that. I've been live about that case. I've been on panels with it, talking about it. That case is crazy. You know, for no dirt to be on the bottom of his feet and for his feet to be like clean and you're hanging from a swing set, you got to walk through muddy. You know, you got to walk through mud to get to that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And for them to label it as a suicide is just friggin' ridiculous. You know, it definitely is a heartbreaking case. Caddy said, yes, that case is very suspicious. Heartbreaking case. Can't get through. Can't get through. You should be able to get through now. My bad. You should be able to get through now. My bad. My bad. You should definitely be able to get through. Yes, where else we got? What did I miss? Let me make sure. Okay. What up, Shelly? How you doing? Welcome. Caddy, welcome. Who else did I miss? Buster almost looked down smiling. He got away with his participation. I'm not sure about the older bro jealousy, like little bro. You cost our family thinking Buster also, in my honest opinion. Hey, Barbara, how you doing? 916, you're in the mix. What's going on? Is that so?
Hey, T-REV. Welcome back.
Well, thank you. How you doing?
It's good to talk to you.
It's nice to talk to you too.
This is West End Girl. I've talked to you a few times.
How you been?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. It's been really, I'm on the West Coast, so it's been, I mean, we had snow up in Northern California. It's just been crazy.
You guys got some snow.
Yeah, you know, we don't get snow like, you know, in far NorCal. We don't, I mean, we're in the valley a little bit where I'm talking about, and we don't get snow. We got like 2 feet. It was just crazy. Yeah, crazy.
2 feet? Good gracious.
Yeah, tell me about it. Snowed in.
That's crazy. Wow, 2 feet, and you guys aren't used to seeing snow. I bet you guys thought it was fucking Christmas.
Dude, they were calling it Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon. 2 feet's a lot, though.
I know, it really is.
You
But
know?
I wanted to call you. Number one, I wanted to say I really respect and love that you took some time out for yourself, and then also that, you know, you're so open and sharing about doing so. I think it's so important for our mental health, and also not to be afraid or ashamed to say, hey, I need a break.
Exactly. You got to, you know, when I was getting mentally stressed with certain things, not with people, with myself in general. And I had to, you know, just take a break for a little bit and step back and collect myself and put myself back on track, because I felt myself getting off track.
Yeah.
And it started when I started smoking weed. I started smoking weed again, and and I noticed that it changed my patterns. And even with my that's why I stopped. I stopped smoking. So I stopped smoking again. I'm like, fuck that. I haven't smoked in a while. I started smoking, and it just changed the patterns of my mind, and it made me, it helps a lot of people, and it used to help me, but I noticed it making me just not feel right mentally, and not feel myself. So I'm like, you know what, as much as I love, smoking weed and going to dispensaries and stuff like that and grabbing stuff, I couldn't. I don't know. It just put me in my wrong. It put me in the mind state that I shouldn't be in, and that's why I'm like, yeah, I can't smoke no more. I got to stop smoking. It's just not. It's not for me.
What did you that's really hard to stop for a lot of people. So how did you do it, and what did you put in place of it?
Nothing. I just cold turkey. I was just like, nah, I'm not smoking. I'm just like, I'm done. It gives me it started giving me panic attacks again, and I'm like, but it's not even just the panic attack part. It's the part about just not. It just put me in a different state of mind. I think too much. When I smoke, I get into this deep train of thought, and I start thinking about crazy shit like my past with my mom. That just puts me in a very depressive state.
Yeah, well, that's what, I mean, listen, I'm in California where pot's legal, and I fair enough. I mean, I smoke a little weed sometimes, when I'm, once in a blue moon, I'll smoke a little pot on the weekend. And I noticed for me that, I mean, it can put me in a dark place. And I noticed that even though I like it, I always feel like, man, I kind of tripped out last night. I mean, I'll be by myself. It's not like I'm doing anything wrong to anybody, but I'm like, my thoughts are going into crazy land. And I don't know if that's super healthy for me.
Yeah, it really can affect people. And I know weed is great. I know it's a great and I'm not against weed. It just, for me in general, it just put me into a depressive state because I get to deep thinking when I smoke. I just get really super deep into thought, and it just, I don't know. It put me. I noticed. I caught myself the other day. I'm like, man, this is making me depressed.
Yeah.
And I stopped, and I started gaining I started gaining that fire back under me again. I'm like, yeah, I can't smoke. I can't.
I'm so proud of you. I think it's great because it can make us paranoid. It can make us depressed, or and also like kind of going over the same situations and our past and stuff that we've moved on from. We don't need to keep, pulling those band-aids off. I think that I think we don't realize that our hearts and our minds are so fragile, and that really, truly, our hearts can only take so many tears at them. We have to really take care to protect ourselves, because truly, our minds and our hearts can only take so much in life, and we got to respect that and kind of respect that about ourselves, and just know that we're humans, and it can only take so much, man.
Yeah, well, not only that, you know what else it does to me that other people it doesn't. I never hear that problem for other people. It just, I don't know, it makes me think about my health to myself. And I'm a hypochondriac as it is. I'm that type of person that'll be feeling his pulse. Like, is my heart beating?
Oh shit. That's so funny.
That's me. Like, I'll be checking my pulse and shit, and it makes me freak. Like, I'm telling you, I'm a hypochondriac as it is. And that shit just raises the bar with it even more. And I'm like, why? I was sitting there thinking, like, why did I do this to myself? For me, it's always been easy. It's always been easy to stop. It's always been easy for me to stop smoking when I did.
Yeah.
And it's easy this time again. So I was like, yeah, nah. Hell nah, I'm done. That shit's fucking me up. It's making me feel weird. It's making me it's making my the hypochondriac part of me worse. I'm thinking I got cancer. I'm thinking my fucking, but I can't breathe. I got it just does things like that to me.
Well, I was noticing for a while when you were going live. I mean, I don't know what you're smoking on your vape, but I noticed for a while there you were like, it was like chain smoking, and I thought, I wonder if he's smoking that much weed, or what are you smoking, by the way? When you're
actually, what I'm smoking is I smoke. What is this shit? It's vaping. Yeah, it is vaping. It's not marijuana or nothing. It's PB and Jam Monster. It's vape. I actually lowered down like the nicotine level all the way to the lowest that you can possibly get to. It's like 1.5 milligram.
Yeah. But were you going for a while there when you were you smoking marijuana like back to back, like back with it?
Yeah, I was smoking blunts.
Yeah.
I started smoking blunts again, and that was probably like, I want to say that was like a month ago. I just started smoking again.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it was a bad change, but I was noticing more of a, I could see you tripping out.
I was lost in my mind. I look back at some of my streams, right, and I was smoking, and I'm like, I'm not myself. You know what I mean? It makes me more quiet. I can't get across what I'm feeling or thinking, right? You know what I mean? It's like I'm stuck in froze and I'm thinking about other things in my head, like my heart, like seriously. And I'm just speaking from what I'm thinking. My heartbeat, like, I'm like, man, I'm dying. I start thinking I have health problems, and it's just, that's what it does to me.
I could visually see you going through that when I was watching you live one time. I was like, dude, I could just see it. I'm like, I knew exactly what was going on. I'm like, he's chirping right now. But I mean, I always think that, activity breeds activity. And when we, when we're doing something, it's a continuum of whether it's your mindset or whatever, you're going to attract those types of energies or activities. It's a perpetual thing. And it's funny how your situations will change, life will change, opportunities will change, people you run into will change when you just change one little thing. So, I mean, I'm really happy for you. I think it's great.
I appreciate it. It's good to feel back to myself. You know, it's good to feel back. I did get sick there for a minute. And I came back on, and then I just didn't feel mentally, like, I don't know. I started feeling mentally, I wouldn't say unstable, right? Because that would be the wrong word to use. I was just mentally getting depressed. And then I noticed it was the weed that was making me depressed. And I was like, as much as I love weed, I can't smoke it. I can't smoke weed no more. I gotta stop because it's really driving me to a depressive state. And just making me, you know what I mean? You know how many times I almost went to the hospital because my heart was racing too fast and I freak out. And I'm a hypochondriac. Like I said, I've been to the emergency room multiple times, freaking out because of smoking, and I'll still come back and smoke again. It's like, what am I doing?
So, right. So I have one sister, the director of nursing in Seattle. She's got 45 nurses under her, and we were talking a lot because she's very cerebral. And we were talking about marijuana and whatnot. And it is a very, very much of a fact that, marijuana can incite anxiety for people. And it's actually not good for them chemically because your brain has a certain way that it will fire off for certain people. And that anxiety is a very real thing where your blood pressure will go up, and it actually physically is very, they say pot can't kill you, but pot can certainly create a panic attack, which will raise your blood pressure. And if you have high blood pressure, that's
me. I have high blood pressure.
Right. So that's not a good idea for you because not everybody metabolizes marijuana in their brain in such a way that it doesn't create an anxiety attack. For some people it does, and you need to kind of be aware of that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that because your brain is beautiful. But I know that I have that sometimes when we're talking about, she cannot smoke marijuana, she can't even do the CBD or anything because she gets anxiety. She's very brilliant. So I don't know if I'm not a scientist, but it is, you should be privy to that and understand that can cause high blood pressure and create a panic attack in you, which is not okay.
Yeah, that's what it was doing. And I have panic attack disorder as it is already. And I already am diagnosed with bipolar depression. So it's like that, it just, I can't do it. I can't do it.
That's the problem. A lot of people are medicating themselves, which, listen, I'm an advocate for marijuana for the people that it works for, but a lot of people don't realize that it's not for everybody. They are taking it thinking that, okay, marijuana is supposed to make me feel relaxed. Marijuana is supposed to make me sleep. For me, marijuana gives me nightmares. You know what I mean? I like the trip, but then I sleep like shit on it. It doesn't matter what strain I got. And so it's important to know that marijuana, we metabolize it differently. Everybody does. So it's not that anxiety fix or an antidepressant for everybody. And so truly it's not. You should see your doctor and talking about some kind of low level of anti-anxiety, like a propranolol, which is a blood pressure medication.
Beta blocker.
Yeah, there's something called propranolol.
Yeah, that's the beta blocker that I was on. The exact medication you're naming right now.
Or bupropion is a very, I think that's generic for Wellbutrin. It's but I heard that's very light. But talk to your doctor about something that's a low antidepressant that I don't know, a low one. That way you're not, because some of those can be, in my opinion, like Prozac. I don't think is good. But I'm not a doctor. Just saying. Yeah, no
doubt.
I did want to say, I was watching the Alex Murdaugh case, and I wanted to say, man, what a trip. I was glued to that case, and I just wanted to say how weird that guy is. When he spoke, was so likable. And I don't know if you saw his testimony. He's got snot coming out of his nose. I mean, talk about an actor. But he did a good job of, I don't know, he was likable. He came off so likable. He was no doubt guilty, but the defense did good too. They got under the skin of the Attorney General's office. I mean, that was like two pit bulls, the defense and the state going at it, that I thought was a very intriguing trial. What did you think?
I didn't see the full trial at all. I think I streamed one day. I've watched a little bit of it, but for me, it was like a very slow trial. You know what I mean? It was slow. It was putting me to sleep, and I was like, man, I just couldn't watch it. I couldn't get into the trial part of it. And I've seen some trials, but that one was just it was different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really slow. Well, the reason why was because really the state, I mean, I watched it all. I mean, I loved it. And I was very angry at the state. The prosecutors were hammering a nail in that's been crushed in. I mean, it was just so repetitious, going over the same thing. And they had it out for this guy. Don't forget that his grandfather's picture, which they had to take down, was in the back of the court. I mean, their family has a legacy of being prosecutor after prosecutor, and he was a prosecutor for that county. But as far as the Bryan Kohberger, I just want to say this really quick. I personally think that the reason why they got a search warrant for those clothing is, tell me what you think. I think that those are the clothing that he was wearing at 4 a.m. when they were surveilling him in Pennsylvania, and he was taking trash with gloves on out at 4 a.m. to his neighbor's yards. I think that was the clothing he was wearing. What do you think?
You think that's the clothing that he was wearing during the crime?
No, during the disposal of the trash, that he was, throwing trash away at 4 a.m. when the FBI was surveilling him in Pennsylvania. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, no, hell yeah, I remember that. Absolutely, 100%.
I think that if that was the clothes that he was wearing during the crime, there's no doubt in my mind that they would have gotten that during the first affidavit. I don't see that they would be getting any new evidence to show, oh, let's go get that, and that it would actually still be at his parents' house. My thought is, I think it's the clothing that he was wearing. But then why wouldn't they get it right then, right? What do you think it is? What do you think the clothing is?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I want to know. We know, as people that have been in the true crime for a while, at least I know I've been into it for a while. I can't speak for you, but in general, if you're in true crime for a while, then you know that they're testing. Excuse me. They're doing tests on the clothing to see if they can find anything from the victims, whether it be blood, hair follicles, whatever. You know what I mean?
But why that specific clothing? What do you think?
Yeah, that part is that's a very good question. Why that specific clothing?
Right? Because, did they think it's the clothing he was wearing during the commission of the crime? If so, why didn't they get it earlier? What's the new evidence to make them go, oh, we need that Nike shirt, those pair of black boxer shorts, and those socks, or is that the clothing that he was wearing when they saw him throwing out evidence, trash at 4 a.m. in the morning at Pennsylvania? But if so, why didn't they just collect it right then when they kicked in the door?
Speculating wise, what if they seen him at a store, or what if they seen him somewhere wearing that same clothing during some type of date, you know, and they're like, we need that, we need this, we need that. You know what I mean? Maybe they seen him on surveillance somewhere, and they're like, we need to collect this. I'm just speculating, right? I didn't hear this anywhere. I'm speculating that that's probably why they collected what they collected.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that. I agree with, I think you said it. I agree. I don't think this is over drugs. That's just my one little person's opinion. I think that Dylan may or may not have been, you know, a supplier. Probably. I mean, I don't even think that's such a bad thing. You know, I mean, whatever. They're kids, you know. So she had a hookup. I mean, we all had hookups when we were kids, right? Remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think this is over drugs. I truly think this is one guy and one only. And I think our hearts, we're so addicted to this. We're so addicted to, you know, for instance, even your channel, you know, when you don't come back on, you know, there's probably a lot of people that's like, oh, bum, you know, it's part of their daily routine or activity, especially for some that might be retired or working from home. But we become addicted to this, you know, a story. And so sometimes, you know, human nature, we want to expand on it to keep it alive. But I truly believe, to me, this is a one-man deal, a sick man that had planned this, you know, that I think that he saw Xana and Maddie at the restaurant. That's what I think. I think he wanted to kill them, and I think that he planned it, and he was just sick, and I think it's a one man deal.
I wanted to know where Banfield had got the information that first it was that she got the information that one of the friends had went in and checked the pulse on Ethan and Maddie, or not Ethan and Maddie, but I'm sorry, Ethan and Xana, or Ethan in general. I remember a specific video that she put out. I was like, where does she get that information from during this gag order, and to be brazen enough to put it out there? Did you see that video?
Yeah, it's become, you know, Ashley Banfield breaking news, you know, because she's the only one that has it. She's like, she's got some hookup. You know, but God bless her for being, I mean, she is a true journalist, you know. Well, she's a kind of not a true journalist, but she's a cat, man. She's dedicated to this.
A lot of people don't like her no more.
Yeah, she's doing her job though. You know, she's a very specific. This is a very specific line of work. This is not like, you know, true journalism where you're going and you're in Iraq or you're in the front lines of war. You know, she's in true crime. You know, you got to love her for her purpose.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I've seen there's a lot of people though that I've been recently reading. They're like, "Fuck Ashley Banfield," and
yeah,
you know, fuck, where'd she get? And I get where a lot of these folks are getting angry at, because we're so wrapped up with this case. Our hearts are in it, and people's hearts, a lot of people's hearts are in this case, and they're just like, why, who's her source? Fuck her source. You know, they're just. And I get that too. And that's where my questions come in. Like, why? I don't know if that could put somebody else in a situation to where they could get in trouble for, you know, leaking that type of information under a very strict gag order. You know,
yeah,
I just want the families to get justice and you know, not a reporter fuck up a case. Not saying that that's going to happen. That's just me speculating, but potentially fuck up a case because, you know, somebody came forward and told her some information that was part of the case that can't speak publicly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, heck yeah. I mean, I can absolutely see people's feeling about that and their opinion. I mean, it's, you know, they say, you know, lawyers sometimes will do the dirtiest things to win, but a lot of times, you know, so will journalists. And I think that she's walking a fine line there, and I can definitely see why people would be frustrated, because she's, you know, probably crossing the line in order to get clicks, you know, or to get views, and I can see that, you know. I see that. I do.
It happens. I mean, YouTubers do it. I mean, a lot of people do it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people do it, but there's, that's what's so nice about your channel is that people want to have a voice. People just do, their hearts are into it. They want to have a voice. They want to be heard, and you have a platform. That's what makes you so different and so special. It's because you truly enjoy hearing your people give their heart and their opinion.
I really do. I really do.
Yeah, you don't have to create cut and snip content like some people do in order to get these drastic headlines and be able to get views. Yours, you have so many followers and so many listeners because truly all of us enjoy listening to each other. And really, it's your community.
You hit the nail on the head on that one. I'll tell you that much, because that's what it really is. I get a lot of people. A lot of you guys are great. You come over and you see all this stuff, and then you come over here and you're able to talk about things that are bothering you that you may have seen, or speculate on things that were reported, or you know what I mean. And that's what makes it great, because a lot of us have different opinions and views on the things that we hear. Not everybody thinks of it the same way, and it's good to actually have somewhere to go and actually put your opinion there and then actually be heard by somebody that's viewing,
Right.
It's great.
Right. And I wanted to say two more things before I let some other wonderful person come in and call. And I love to hear everybody, and I don't want to usurp all this time. But two things I wanted to say. Number one is, really quick before I forget them, is the district attorney that is assigned to the Kohberger case. Just keep in mind that, that is correct. Her name as the county DA is listed on everybody that's representing the two mothers. So she never met with those people in person. That makes complete sense to me. I've had a case before where I've had the general DA listed, but then I got somebody else that I actually had represent me. So that makes sense. Number two, I wanted to say, as far as the smoking weed and whatnot, and people trying to self-medicate with marijuana, we all do it. We all do it. I do it. Not so much anymore because, I see a doctor and I'm like, okay, I'm really careful about that. But it's important also to remember that the best, don't forget about exercise. You've got to get those endorphins up, man. That is, you want to have a high in life, get out there and exercise, get your heart rate up. And then the second is, don't forget about, natural things like ashwagandha, and there's herbs and stuff. You start doing a little more research on that kind of stuff,
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll let somebody else.
Well, I appreciate you calling, and it's always good hearing from you. West End girl, right?
West End, West End town. West End.
Well, I appreciate you calling in, and thank you for having a voice in the community, and it's always great hearing from you.
Thank you, T-REV.
God bless you. Lock your doors.
Will do. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And shout out to her. Shout out to her. Thank you, Public House. I appreciate that. Public House landlord. Excuse me. 3:13. What? I've been on here for almost 4 hours. I got to dip off for a little bit, but I will see you guys soon. I'll see you again. I'll probably be live tomorrow. I may go live again tonight. You never know. Thank you guys that rock with me. I appreciate you. And let me exit this shit. What am I doing? Thank you, though. I appreciate everybody that was here today that called in and talked to me. I do appreciate you guys. I do appreciate your opinions. I do appreciate you having a voice in the community. I love you guys. Thank you for the continued support and just being part of the Rev Gang family. And not only that, having a voice in the community is the most important. Thank you, guys. I love you all. And I will be talking to you probably, I want to say probably tonight. I don't know. You never know with me. I'm random. I might even be live on my other channel. My other channel is different. It's not the same as this channel. It's different for that reason, and that's why I've had that channel. I think it's, if you want to look it up, it's like, what is it called? T-REV 757 Reactions and Gaming or some shit. I think that's the name of it. So if you want to subscribe or catch me over there on, doing some different stuff, you can catch me over there. I've been live over there a couple times since, I want to say probably maybe 4 or 5 times. Not a whole lot, right? But I've been live. But thank you guys for coming by today. I appreciate you. I'm glad to talk to all of you. Thank you. Love your faces. Thank you guys. I love you all. Holly, Awesome, Sassy Sauce, Keister Bunny, of course, Roger, Sea Breeze, Midwest Girl. Thank you all. I appreciate you. All right. I'll end it like this.
Look, all my life has been neglection, so now I pick up the pen and use it as a weapon. Yeah, you can see that I'm affected. People getting killed for nothing but obsession. You need to look at your reflection and decide who you are. Stop acting disconnected. Got mothers killing kids. People kill to live. Well, I be on the mic, speaking how I live. Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead, and YouTube has to solve it because the law is filling kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end, and if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victims to the streets? They wonder why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. failed Kylie, and now Sammy is free. AWP did a good deed, and y'all be talking all that shit while they just do it for free. 16 days for 35 minutes. Y'all tried to throw them off and just want to play the victim. Reaching out to YouTube channels for clout. I wouldn't check it. TV if I went in your house. And SF investigate, stay sending out the hate. Why you mad at Doug and Nick for finding Kylie in the lake? Make it make sense. You're a fake bitch. You were there for money and now you're mad over fake shit. And that's something I can't relate with. Zero emotion from the mom or the statements. All I seen was the devil in her eyes. Tony died, you're a fake. I can see it through your lies. Got Sammy on your stream like the FBI. You've been grooming little kids. I can see your whole disguise. It get Mel calling Ronnie up on the line. Why you lie to the people and say you gon' do it live? Santa May out here looking extra sus. Got an arrow on the ground pointing towards Kylie's truck. Then you want it coming up church. I think your butt hurt. You tried to blame the man for your dog but couldn't find the dirt. I guess that's what they mean by the trucky way. If you step foot in the town, you might die from foul play. And I don't know what to say, but I can feel it through my soul. She didn't drive in LA. So y'all can try to go convince somebody else, cause I'm not falling for that shit. The autopsy really smells.
See, let me explain what I'm talking about, man. And you know what I'm talking about. No water in the lungs. Y'all test for the weirdest shit. I guess it is the trucky way.
You gotta stop doing this.
I mean, I really guess it's the trucky way, man.